Hey everybody, it's Cyborg, and I am joined, as always, by Downforality, and we have a special guest on today, and that is Temporary Username. He's an old MKO member. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he's on the Warrior Shrine, and we're gonna have him on as a guest today, so how are you doing, buddy?
What's up?
Yo. Alright, so it sounds like he's doing good, doing well. His favorite character, Devora, got shown off today, so we're gonna be talking about her for sure. We will be talking about Kitana, Devora, Microtransactions, Cetrion a little bit, anything else that came up today, stages and gameplay and just hype and speculation and Melina and all sorts of good stuff. So stay tuned, everybody. And we're going to be answering questions that people left us in the Discord, which you can check out, by the way, in our description if you haven't already. So do that and come join the discussion. We are 10 days away from this game. Literally 10 days from this point, because I think around this time is when you get to play it. Well, a couple hours from now, but yeah. 10 days, 2 hours.
That's ridiculously close.
It's nothing. We're about to be single digits here, folks, so...
Yeah, once you hit single digits, it's like, it's not even...
No.
It's not even, like... Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah, there were some people in the Discord saying, man, I just want it to leak already, like, I can't wait, and I'm like... No, we're so close, man. Like, I hope it doesn't leak, because then we're this close now that if there is something that we do not know about, that would be fun to just actually be able to discover in the game for ourselves at this point, because, yeah, that rarely happens. So
there's a lot of unknowns right now, too. So.
There still is, yes, correct.
Nice.
There's a lot of gear and skins I'm sure we didn't see for each character. They keep saying that there's a bunch, and, you know, they got to make their money somehow.
Yeah.
And there's still game modes potentially that we don't know about. We still don't, like, we've never seen the online tag or whatever, any of that type of stuff. We don't know what that looks like or even when that's released, because I don't know if that's part of launch. That article seemed a little confusing. We haven't seen the crypt, the actual crypt, what it looks like yet. We haven't seen any online other than what was in the beta. So, yeah, there's still a lot of stuff to kind of figure out and see for ourselves, plus maybe more characters left to be seen. So, yeah, well, anyways, let's jump into it. So, Kitana. Well, actually, let's start off with microtransactions. Let's kind of go in order here. So, microtransactions. They're going to have microtransactions, micro machines, the small little kind of micro machines. No, they're going to have microtransactions in the game, which, not really surprising. I mean, they've had microtransactions for their last couple games, so... From what it sounded like, there's no loot boxes, so they reiterated that. Thank God. Thank God. That in itself is a huge win. No damn loot boxes. Oh my gosh. No. Hopefully that means no random number generator nonsense, and you can actually just get what you want. Now, the way they made it sound is you're buying time crystals, not to be confused with source crystals. These are time crystals. There's a big difference there. Crystals, apparently they just wanted to stick with crystals again. But it's that popular thing. It's like in the mobile games, the free-to-play mobile games. I feel like everything has crystals or shards or stuff like that. But
yeah.
So we have time crystals this time, and those can be used to buy just cosmetics. There is no gameplay. You're not paying to win. You're not buying anything with stats or any of that stuff. You're purely buying gear and skins with these time crystals. And they did make sure to, like, drive home that everything that you can buy can be earned in the game itself. There's nothing that's only time crystals. It's not like the premier skins with Injustice 2, where those were only, you had to get them with just source crystals. Mm-hmm. So these ones, you can anything in the game, you can get in the game itself. You don't have to spend money to get time crystals. Now, obviously there's a catch to that, because I'm sure it's going to be a grind to earn the necessary currency to unlock the things you want, which therefore encourages people that don't want to wait or don't want to have to grind to get what they want to just pay money up front and buy it outright. That's how they get their money. I get it. So keep in mind, though, this isn't a free-to-play game, so it shouldn't be too bad. I hope they don't go too crazy with it, because generally when you see hardcore grinding, like it takes forever to get what you want, that's a free-to-play game. And that's their only way they're getting money, is by getting you to buy into the microtransactions. So since this isn't free-to-play, I hope it's not too crazy what they expect you to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Temp, what
I
did
hope
you
it doesn't.
say? What were you saying?
I just hope it doesn't take a long time to get what I want. Like, if I want Cabal's Mortal Kombat 3 mask, I shouldn't have to fucking play like 20 hours or something to get it. Just give me it after like an hour or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Temp, you had said in the past with Injustice 2, like after a certain amount of time you put in the game, you should be able to have everything, or how much, like whatever you want, you should be able to get within a certain amount of hours. I don't remember what the exact thing was.
I think I always said 6 weeks was reasonable. I feel like in 6 weeks you should have everything there is to get in the game.
Yeah, I could see that. And like I don't know about an hour. I feel like some of those things,
that was just like that was an exaggeration.
Like a legendary item, like let's say it's the highest tier item, whatever that is, a mythic item. Like if it's a mythic item for your character, I'm not against like I don't know, 10, 20 hours of grinding specifically for that one item, because it does at least make it... I mean, we're going to knock out 20 hours within the first day and a half, 2 days. So, I mean, if you really want something, you can grind to get it. Now, what I'm hoping is you can actually choose what you're getting, because the way they made it sound, they didn't really elaborate on how we're obtaining these items, other than that there's a store that you can spend time crystals, which you can buy to obtain. And they also said that you will get a certain amount of time crystals just playing the game itself, because they obviously want to get people accustomed to how they work, kind of get you hooked, so to speak.
And that sounds like similar to the source crystals, which like there wasn't very many unlocking source crystals in the game. Like,
right.
And I feel like there came a point where you just couldn't get them anymore.
Yeah, it's like you unlocked it like leveling up, but it's like it gets way harder to level up after like the first like 40, so you barely got any.
And then they just stop.
Shaders. I feel like if you could only get some shaders with. This was on Reddit, but apparently it is literally impossible to unlock every shader.
No, it is.
So you had to spend your finite money to get that one last shader for your character.
Right.
Which really shady stuff.
Yeah, in which they address that. So everything should be unlockable in the game itself. They did stress that. So that is the good thing. It seemed like they did learn a lot from their mistakes with Injustice 2. They even said, we don't want to do loot boxes. We didn't want to do loot boxes. They said that like very quickly. And I wonder if he even like, if it was like a Freudian slip, but he even said, we didn't want to do loot boxes. So I was like, is he speaking like retroactively? Like they never wanted it in Injustice 2 either?
They also like shit on the stats too. They're like, we're listening, like everyone disliked that, so we didn't bring that back.
They don't need to even like rely on the community for that. They internally don't like that stuff. They want to stay competitive and they want to be a fun game. They don't want it to be overly microtransaction-y. So it sounds like they're there as an option for people that really just want something and they don't want to have to work for it, but they're not. I'm just hoping it's a fine balance. A fine balance is all that any of us are asking for here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should not be a grind. But the fact that there's no loot boxes, I think that means there's no duplicate of items and there's no random factor to it. I think you just outright get specific items for completing challenges, completing towers, you'll get specific items. And then with the time crystals, you can specifically buy the things you want. Maybe you can do that with any of the items, but maybe the time crystals just kind of like supersede. Because they said nothing's... That's right. So that has to be the way it is, because they said nothing is time crystal specific, meaning there's not an item in the game that only takes time crystals. So every item can be bought with just the coins that you earn throughout the game. So that, I guess that's the important part is, I'm hoping, really hoping there's just a store. Just a storefront like we talked about down for, where you can go into the store, be it the crypt or whatever, or just in the inventory thing when you're changing up your customization options. You should be able to go in there and just say, I want this item. Oh, it's 10,000 gold coins. Okay, boom, there you go. I get the item I want. That would be the most ideal, because then you're only earning stuff for the character you actually want. You're not wasting coins on stuff that you don't want, and you don't have to deal with inventories or deleting items or overflow stuff. Man, I'm hoping that's the case.
They did mention store like seveling times. Like he reiterated that he just meant like to buy the items, but it does sound like there will be something like that, which is good.
I'm hoping because that would... I don't mind that at all. Like, if I'm maining a certain character and I want to get all their gear, or if I want to get just the items that I specifically want, I should be able to grind for a whole night and then save up those coins that I got and then dump them on that item. You know, like that's how that should work. That's how normally gaming has worked for many, many years, is if there's something you really want, you save up your currency in game to buy that specific item. That way you can kind of choose what's important to you. Like if you're somebody that's maining Cabal or whatever, and you want a mask that you is your favorite, or a trench coat or whatever, you can save up and get that, and then somebody that doesn't play Cabal doesn't have to end up getting those items that they don't want. Like I just feel like I'm hoping that's the case. It sounded like they really were aware of what the issues were with Injustice 2, and it sounded like they were cognizant of how much, like, they're aware of definitely how, like, a controversial microtransactions are. Like, Sean Hemrick was pretty much bumbling over, like, what he was really struggling on, like, the information, because you could tell he was probably trying to make sure he got everything clear and correct without saying the wrong thing, because you don't want to set people off under the wrong assumption of how this works, because it's such a hot topic.
Yeah, you don't want to misexplain something, like...
Yeah, then you'll have Reddit going in an uproar. And
yeah.
So he was trying to choose his words carefully to make sure that they don't cause that backlash. So I'm really hoping that's how it works, because like I said, when I play the game, I have no problem just saving up currency for the things I want. It's the random stuff that really gets to be obnoxious. Just randomly hoping you get the items you want. That was the worst part of Injustice 2, along with the time management. But yeah, anyways, that's all really to cover on that, is that there are microtransactions. We already knew that. I mean, when Ed Boon was asked at C2E2, he said no loot boxes, but he just kind of glossed over the microtransaction part. So it was pretty evident or clear that that was probably going to be the case. But it sounds pretty harmless, as long as it's not like too much grinding. You shouldn't have to like save up for a month to get something. That would be insane.
And to know it's there, even. I think that's my favorite part, is I know all the costumes that are going to be in the game. So
I hope, yeah.
I can just see what's available. I don't have to, unlock random pieces of gear and it's like, oh, this is the one with 2 spikes. Yeah, none of that is going to be an issue anymore.
I hope that is the case, because then it's like I said, if you can just save up the currency for what you want, and like you said, being able to just see everything that's there from the get-go, then that's more, I mean, that's the way it should be, because then you're encouraged to save up your coins for the thing you want. If you don't know something's out there, then how do you obtain that? You're not going to just save up 20,000 coins for a chance at maybe getting the opportunity to get it. That wouldn't make any sense. So it has to be a storefront. I hope that is the case.
It also encourages integrity on their part, because when we bought Injustice 2, we didn't know there were like 7 variations of the same thigh piece. Yeah. We didn't know that. We found out about a lot of the Injustice 2 gear problems, I'd say like 40, 50 days into the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad there's that transparency now.
I hope so. I hope it's as clear cut as that, because I would be all on board for that. I like, in games that I play, I like saving up for things, because then, like, if you save up all your coins for that one item while other people are just buying whatever the hell they want just to have more options, and you're that guy that's like, nope, I'm going to save up for that big ticket item, then it's like, hey, now you have a mask that not everybody gets. Like, you saved up for that really awesome Cabal mask or whatever that most players aren't going to have unless they too saved up 20 hours worth of coins to obtain it. So I think that's kind of a cool point too. So we'll see. Hopefully that is the case. It should be as clear cut as that based on what they were saying. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get into Kitana. Oh man, so I was watching this. I put up my live reaction, and my live reactions, I don't go all crazy and flip out and go all over the place. I don't roll on the... Well, I do sometimes do some ridiculous stuff, but I liked her. I thought she looked really good. I liked her models. The high heels are a little weird, but I guess we're going back to that with Jade, Kitana, Scarlet, etc. It seems like most character females, I think even Cetrion, they all have high heels for the most part. Shao Kahn. But... yeah, so we're going back to that, but regardless, I mean, it's a minor nitpick. I've been there, done that with MK9. I'm not going to let it bother me right now. Hopefully they have other skins without them. But, Yeah, so she looks cool. I was hoping for a little bit more assassin-y stuff, like more. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but she's got a lot of stuff I do like, and she just looks good in general. I'm pretty excited for her. I think if Frost doesn't work out, which still have no idea what to expect with her other than what's rumored and all that. So I guess now I at least have two characters that I really feel compelled to play, which is Kitana and Collector. So they're not just kind of like settling for me. To me, they do look fun to me, and they do look like characters I genuinely want to try. So I'm excited for her. She looks good. She's doing a lot of cool things, and I like overall, like, her combo strings look really nice, and her choreography looks nice. I've said before, the things with characters that I look forward to most is I like quick, nimble, acrobatic, graceful, and she's kind of got all of that. Like even her jumps, she kind of does that weird, like, kind of graceful spin in the air.
Yeah, she does like a twist.
Yeah, that's
or
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm really digging it, and on the one that Steve's loadout that he made, which I guess those are the competitive standard ones that they showed off today in the combat cast. So she has one that is up my alley with it's got the fluff in the air, the little flutter. I'm glad to see that back, and she's got a lot of other cool tools that I really enjoyed. But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really have anything specific to call out other than she just looks good to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm the same. Like she just looks overall good. Like I'm not like super into anything, but it looks like Katana. Like she looks good. I'm happy she still retains like her combo possibilities in the corner and like
Right.
the screen. She has some cool shit. Look pretty good. I like that she's actually holding the fan now. She doesn't have to like bring it out.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's what I wanted them to do. I wanted her to hold the fans. Um, Other than that, though, yeah, it's just like it's Katana. She looks good.
One interesting thing was she can't do her flying ass just normally on the ground. You can only do it in the air on her base move set, and the doing it on the ground is one of the like custom things you can add, which was in the competitive one that he showed off, that first one with the flutter and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, I mean, I just think of it like MKX Katana's that first loadout has had a lot of the stuff that I liked. So I'll probably end up using that if I do end up sticking with Kitana as one of my main characters. And then I guess, I mean, we can kind of transition into her second loadout, which had a lot of that Melina stuff that we saw, which is where she has a sai on her back, on her belt on the back or whatever, and it's like a stance. Is that right?
I think so. I couldn't really. I didn't pay too like close attention to the Melina stuff, but I think they said it was.
Yeah, it leads into she can do like she throws it at the opponent and does a. I'm watching it now. She like tosses it at the opponent and it goes into the teleport kicks, but she also has one that like leads to a combo, so she stabs it into their head like Melina does and then follows up with her fans. So she's using it in a combo as well. Yeah, it looks like it's a stance, and I'm trying to see the different options right now. Okay, so one leads to a teleport kick out of the stance, so that's one of the buttons you can press. One tosses it up into the air and it comes down at the opponent at their head, like from the sky, so that's another way to use the sai. And then so those are the only two that they've showed off so far. But then there was also a way that she comboed with it. So she did actual like stabbing them with it and then following up with the fan, like I said. So interesting. This has obviously led to a ton of... Okay, so she did the stab there. So those seem like the three things you can do out of it. I don't know if there's a fourth, unless it's maybe just a cancel. But yeah, it looks good. I didn't want anything Melina to do with Kitana. I'm not a big fan of the mournful stuff. I wasn't a big fan of the mournful stuff in MKX. I like Kitana just being Kitana and not kind of, here, let's include this other person's moves clearly as a tribute to them.
I'm still not a fan of that. I wish they wouldn't do that. It allows for less unique Kitana shit.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they didn't just go, oh, hey, let's bring back this character shit. Let's bring back Reptile's acid for this thing or whatnot. It's like, I'm still not a fan. They keep doing that, and I wish they wouldn't. But I mean, if If it means Molina doesn't get in, I'm kind of happy about it, but I don't. I don't want to.
If we have to have Kitana have this shit, then hopefully it at least means Molina's not in.
I'd rather my character be worse than have someone else get their character.
I'm a dick.
Please nerf my character, but don't put in someone else's favorite.
Look, I mean, we gotta address that because it's led to all this uproar from the Molina fans. And look, we gotta just say it like it is. This is speaking generally. This is not to insinuate that all Molina fans are like this, but there are a ton of Molina fans on Twitter, especially, that are very toxic. They are obsessed with the character to the point where all they do is ask for the character in response to Ed Boon saying, rest in peace to somebody's death. You get, when's Molina? Show us Molina, blah, blah, blah. And this happens with other characters too, but it's the usual suspects that we see this happen with all the time, and Molina is one of those top ones. And we've seen since this combat cast so many people saying, Molina's out, I'm canceling my pre-order, how dare they disrespect us, and yada yada yada. People saying that they're gonna go put their money on other games. I mean, these are obviously extreme cases. This is not all Molina fans. There are plenty of Molina fans, I'm sure, that are just perfectly cool, chill, understandable people that realize your character can't make it in every game. But along those lines, look, Molina's been in a lot of the Mortal Kombat games. She was in Mortal Kombat 2, where she debuted, UMK3, MK Gold, MK Deception, Armageddon, of course, MK9, and MKX. So for at least the last 8 years, you've been able to play Molina. I don't have a whole lot of sympathy there. I mean, look, it sucks not to get your favorite character in the game, no matter who you are. Whether your favorite character's Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Raiden, Baraka, Molina, Sonya, Kano, whatever, it always sucks. No matter who it is, no matter how many games they're in, when they finally miss one, it's a bad feeling. But there's only so many roster spaces, only so many slots on the select screen, and only so much resources they can fit into a base roster. People have to realize that if your character makes it in way more often than not, you gotta let other characters get in. And sometimes that's at the sacrifice of your favorite character. So, say a Rain fan, look, Rain barely makes it in ever. So, he's never gonna make it in if the same usual suspects, the characters that seem to make 90% of the games, always keep making it. You gotta let some of these characters sit out one game and then give that spot to somebody that doesn't get in every game or hasn't been in the last game. A Smoke, Cyrax, Nightwolf, Sindel, Cabal, Jade, etc., Noob Saibot. These are characters that were not in MKX, and, they have fans too. That's the way I look at it, and like I said, it sucks. I don't envy anybody to feel that way, but a lot of us are dealing with the same thing right now, and we've been dealing with it to a much worse degree because those characters weren't in Mortal Kombat X. If you're a Smoke fan, for instance, your favorite characters set out multiple games. So it sucks. And you probably thought, hey, maybe they're out of Mortal Kombat X. Maybe that increases their chances for Mortal Kombat 11. But at this current stage, that's just not happening. Smoke is not in the game. He's not going to be in the base roster, at least. So that's what we're dealing with. Same for Cyrax, same with Sector, same with Nightwolf, Fujin, Rain, etc. That's the way it looks right now. So that's just how I feel about it. I'm not here to sit there and laugh at Molina fans because they didn't get their favorite character. I have no sympathy, though, for people that are toxic. If you are one of the toxic Molina fans, then and you act like that and you throw a fit and a hissy fit about your favorite character not making it in the game and you threaten not to get the game and it's like, are you a fan of the character or are you a fan of the series? There's a certain level of both, sure, but it's just, I don't know. It gets to a point where it's just obnoxious, it's toxic, it makes the community look bad, it makes the fan base look bad, and I'm sure if you're a Molina fan and you don't act like that, you probably want nothing to do with the people that are acting like that all the time. It's just
I
like
mean, a
a
lot has
spoiled
changed
child.
over 24 hours too. My stance on this changed at neck break speed once I saw the combat cast. I don't know if anyone saw it, but about 2 days ago, I was blowing up the Melina fans. I was having a great time, right? So, I was like, you had her in the last two games. Shut the fuck up. Then I saw the combat cast today, and I'm like, man, that is the worst possible way to find out your character is not in the game. And I was like, I'll get into why this was a bad. I mean, we all know why it's a bad idea, but I'll get into why it's a better idea. And then I was like, God, this doesn't please Kitana fans. It doesn't please Melina fans. And then I was watching Losty Girl's reaction, and you could just see her heart was breaking during the demonstration. I felt so bad for her. And if you watch her reaction, she's like the sweetest person. So I just wish it didn't have to be this way. I wish they were more transparent. I even if you can't say who's not in or not in the game, maybe don't tell them this way. If you know the character's borrowing absent characters' assets, maybe set them up for that, or just don't do that at all. If I was a Katana fan, I'd be pissed. I would want more aerial moves. I'd want more fan moves. I'd want more Edenian magic. I wouldn't want. I mean, God, what if Smoke wasn't in the game? He's not. But what if Sub-Zero had like senpai variation? He's doing smoke bombs and shit.
Well, you
I'd
say
be
that,
so
dude.
pissed.
You say that. We already are, like, we already have that. I mean, we had it with Triborg in
That was wrong too. Well,
MKX. We had
that
it.
wasn't quite as wrong, but it was also that was wrong for different reasons. But yes,
We had it with Johnny using noobs moves. We have it with somewhat with
I didn't feel
I
like
agree with that.
the stunt double stuff.
it wasn't really noobs moves though.
Yeah, you could make a case. I mean, it functioned in a similar fashion, but you could argue that is part of the canon of Johnny Cage's chi attacks. You can make that case.
Well, let's set aside that one. Has this not happened like at so many times throughout the series? I'm not justifying it. I'm not even arguing in favor of it. I don't like it at all, and I agree wholeheartedly 100% with you, as I always say.
Noob Smoke was worse than this. That was probably the most.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's been so many cases of this where people take each other's moves that aren't in the game. And for the record, and we'll get to this discussion, I don't necessarily take this 100% as fact that Melina's not in. Do I think she's in? I would say it looks very, very, very unlikely based on this, but it's also not 100% fact. They didn't say anything about her not being in the game. That's us drawing conclusions based on what we've seen.
Well, that's another reason why I'm down about this, because this means RIP the game facts leak, so that fucked me over.
Well, yeah, Shinnok not being in sucks, but I'm also like not too bummed about Melina. It's basically because of the fan base. It's not like Melina getting in this game would like be such a super bad thing. Like it would have been fine, but I'm not super upset about it. But I do agree. Like I don't like them just blatantly like giving them like the actual like move she had, like the teleport kick. It's like I don't know. I'm okay with the other two moves because Melina never really used her Sai that way. She never really did like the upwards thing or the other thing she does, the slice thing. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It's like I genuinely don't like that either.
I can only guess because they had to have known this was going to upset people. I don't know who they thought this would please. So I'm guessing what happened is Kitana was being completed later in the development cycle, and it was getting crunch time, and they're like, we're out of time. We just got to use whatever assets we have. And she was, the crosshairs kind of went over Kitana. It's like we could give her Melina stuff and rationalize it. That's the only reason in the world I can think of why they would do this. Because I can't believe they are so disconnected that they thought anyone would think this is a good idea.
I was gonna mention. Well, I was just gonna mention real quick that I think it would have gone over easier if they had revealed Kitana earlier. But like you said, maybe she was like later in development or something. Because if they had revealed her earlier, then there's less time for or there's more time for Melina fans to like not think she's in, especially with that leak, the fake leak or whatever. I don't know if it's fake.
The leaks. I mean, they can't. That's the thing is they're not responsible for people getting their hopes up based on leaks. That's up to people to handle themselves. First of all, if you're sitting there going through leaks and seeking them out, that's on you if something ends up being incorrect and you were like, oh, this is in the game because it's in this leak, and so far 80% or 90% of it's correct so far, so the rest of it must be correct, because throughout all the leaks that came out, none of them have been 100% accurate. So you always have to take all elements with caution and do not expect them. Just, you might tip your hat a little bit and say, okay, there's more hope here if a character's mentioned and this leak has been mostly credible, that it gives a chance for that to be correct as well. But there's always that chance that it was just bad information, or something changed during development, or they didn't have enough time, or just miscommunication, something got lost in translation there somewhere. You never know. And I wouldn't be surprised if people that get told information, because I mean, this is all so, secondhand, third-hand, fourth-hand information passed down the grapevine to people by the time it reaches anybody in the community. And it's like, that could have, the person that originally started that and shared some of that information could have just made their own assumption and then passed that information along. Or maybe they did it intentionally to see, hey, throws people off a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't be 100% confident about leaks at all. Like, that's totally on them for sure. It's just, it was like a bad, just situation in general, I think.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't take this 100% that she's not in the game. The answer of, it sucks that they did this and they waited so long, and, we're only 10 days away and now Melina fans, they're crushed or whatever. How silly would they look if 10 days later, or even sooner, if the game leaks out, they find out she was in the game the whole time and she's just wasn't shown off? Like, I just think we need to let the dust settle here before we make any rash decisions, I guess.
I feel like they've already kind of incriminated themselves anyway, because Boone said in one of the earliest combat casts that don't worry, there's a lot of fan favorites on the way. And based off what we know, the only people he could have been possibly referring to is Frost, Jade, and Noob Saibot. That's it. I feel like that was a very poor expectation to set. Unless he was referring to the characters who were in MKX, but that would be so strange to me, though. Why would you care? No one's worried about Jax, okay? No one's worried about Aaron Black.
I don't know.
So I thought that was really irresponsible to say.
I don't know, man. I don't necessarily see it that way, because they referred to Jackie as a fan favorite. Let's not forget that. Ed Boon
referred to Scarlet as a fan favorite.
But Ed Boon specifically called Jackie as one of the fan favorites returning from MKX.
Oh,
and it's like, when they say that as a fan favorite, they clearly have a different definition of fan favorite. And I don't think when they said that about, there's a lot of fan favorites remaining, so don't worry, I absolutely 100% think they were referring to the likes of Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, etc. I don't think they were just mentioning people that weren't in Mortal Kombat X. I think they absolutely were referring to certain characters that, yeah, they make it in a ton, but there's still no denying that you can define Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage. Those are fan favorites. They may not be they're not necessarily what we're asking for. We're asking for the ones that didn't make the last game, that we haven't seen since MK9 or even longer in certain cases. That's what we mean when we say we want more fan favorites to return for Mortal Kombat 11. But from their perspective, there's still a ton of people asking for Johnny Cage, a ton of people asking for Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Kitana. So from their perspective,
in the reveal trailer, though, this was after that, so he's not referring to them.
What do you mean?
Well, he said that comment after we saw the January event, so we knew Kung Lao was in.
We didn't,
We generally knew Kitana was in.
They were just in a story trailer.
We knew they were in. Come on.
I don't know, man.
I think we knew, dude. They were, yeah.
Go ahead.
Is Kitana in the story trailer?
She was.
Well, she was
briefly for like a second.
I think everyone knew they were in.
But they still call them reveals, though. Like, it's still a character being revealed.
It's confusing, yeah.
I just don't believe Ed Boon holds the belief that Jackie is as revered as, say, Noob Saibot. You can even get to the 3D era. I don't think he believes that. So I think he's calling him a fan favorite as sort of like... I mean, remember, that was live when he said that. So I don't think he threw that. He said, I mean, how many times has he called MK11 MKX, right? So like,
That's true, and MK9 even too.
So I think he was just nervous, and that's what came out of his mouth. I don't think he was thinking that comment through too heavily.
Well, there's that, or maybe they're trying to sell her as something she's not.
Yes,
Sometimes
I absolutely agree with that.
Sometimes if you say it enough times, people will believe it, type of thing. Perception is reality. So if Ed Boon says she's a fan favorite, those who aren't like online, looking at all they're not like polling fans themselves, or they don't have their finger on the pulse, so to speak. Maybe they're like, oh, more people like Jackie than I thought.
But I mean, we were on the Twitter, right? Like, was there a strong Twitter presence requesting Jackie?
No, I'm saying that they might purposely be doing that.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. There's definitely some social engineering going on.
You treat her like she's a big fan favorite, and then like I said, perception is reality. You're gonna have fans that are like, oh, well, I guess more people like her than I thought, whether that's accurate or not.
Well, I do remember a tweet where like Danish was like, people were like asking like where are the fan favorites or whatever, and he said like Baraka, Jade, and Cabal aren't fan favorites. There's like more to come. So they do like perceive those as, I feel like they do know the fan favorites, like the context of being like characters that weren't in X and haven't been in for a while.
By the way, that guy's been causing some shit lately.
Yeah, he hasn't been great lately. He's been
or maybe it depends how you look at it. You could argue maybe he has been great. I don't know. It depends on how. Well, first of all, it depends if he's right, but it also depends on like, was it good to find out now as opposed to later? I don't know. It's very interesting.
I'm still, like I said, I don't know. I'm not. Well, let's just take your comment at its face value of there's not a whole lot of fan favorite characters on this roster. And
that's not what I said though.
No, I know. I'm gonna further explain that. You meant in a sense that from just discarding the MKX returnees, basically.
Yes, I do agree with that.
So we have, let's go through them and we'll kind of judge it from there. So we have Scarlet, Baraka. Looking at the roster, Scarlet, Baraka, I guess Frost, Noob Saibot, it's 4, and then Shao Kahn, 5.
I don't count those though. We already knew they were in the game though when Ed Boon said that.
Wait, what?
Which one's Shao Kahn?
Well, we knew Shao Kahn was in December, right? We knew Baraka was in January.
And Scarlet. And...
Yeah.
This is the Combat Cast on February. So when Boone said that, I feel like those characters would have been excluded.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess...
Was that the Cabal one, or which one?
It was either Cabal or Jade. I don't remember.
Even Cabal was technically revealed by that point, so I don't even feel like Cabal's in that list.
It have to be Jade, Noob, and...
Frost, I guess.
There is another possibility. He could have been referring exclusively to the DLC, and if the DLC rumors are true...
But he said, because that's what the Dynasty thing was all about, was basically Dynasty made that video about how Ed Boon said that all the fan favorites were just going to come as DLC, and then Ed Boon specifically said, no, we have plenty on the base roster. I just think...
Photoshop Dynasty on a cross.
I honestly think... I see what you're saying, but I think from his point of view, he was referring to the likes of Kitana, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, etc. I think that's what he meant. And we just interpret that differently because our definition was different. We don't clarify what we're saying. When we say we want more fan favorites on the roster, what we really mean is we want more fan favorites that aren't necessarily a guarantee already. We want more that weren't in X. We want the MK9 returnees that... aren't guaranteed already. We want more from the 3D era, etc.
I mean, I guess to put a bow on top of my case, it's just the reason why I bring it up at all is because I feel like what they did to the Mileena fan base was very unjust. That's the only reason I even bring it up. I wish this stuff didn't happen.
I
agree
and disagree.
Do you want Mileena's moves? I mean,
no, I don't. Like I said, that's where I agree. I agree that giving Kitana Mileena's moves, some of them, is the part that I don't agree with. I mean, that's the part that I agree with you on, that's not good for anybody. I absolutely agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
Where I don't agree with it is there are a lot of people that have favorite characters that have a reason to feel even more hurt than the Mileena fans. That's all my point is. I mean, if you're there's I don't know, but
and we're in that group too. We did not do so hot on the roster.
we are. Yeah, I am. Like other than Frost,
this motherfucker down for out. He got Cabal, bitch.
yeah, Down 4 has got a lot of the characters he wanted, but and
Don't
that's
take
good.
this the wrong way, Down 4, but you are a giant piece of shit.
I mean, you got Aaron, Kotal, Cabal, Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I still feel like I want more too.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? This is the problem, man. This is the problem. Is that
Down 4 turn heel is like the best thing ever.
it's just like it's like somebody. It's just like this guy who's eating like 5-course meal, and then we're over here on like outside the window, like hungry, starving, without a home, and we're just like, I would just want one slice of bread, ple's.
You're just staring down.
He's like, man, I am stuffed, but I think I have room for dessert.
It's good.
But yeah, that's all I got. Well, I mean, I should probably say Kitana looks good. I think you all know what I'm gonna say. I feel like the pants are a little jarring. I feel like the bottom half, the top half don't mesh super well, but it looks good overall. I like the color on the pants especially, but
I'll say this.
I feel like it looks weird. Like leather pants on female ninjas is always gonna look weird to me. Yep.
I hope she still has her MKX outfit.
I do too. I love that one. That one was perfect.
That's
I like
still
her
my
MKX
favorite.
better.
Easily my favorite. So her model in this game looks really, really good, especially the face.
Yeah.
I just want to see
She doesn't have
that
the
with
Kino
the.
anymore.
I just want to see that with the MKX outfit. That's probably what I'll be using. Not that these are bad, but I prefer the MKX outfit by a lot.
Which, as I said in the past, I don't understand what the point of gear is if it means getting rid of all the classic costumes. Then I don't see what the point of gear is if we have to remove all the legacy costumes. I hope there's something. If it's only the MKX costume, I will be happy.
It is really strange that we're getting modernized classic costumes, but we're not getting any actual like classic costumes. Like they're
very odd,
redesigned.
yeah.
They're classic redesigns basically.
All we have to go off is that they showed the UMK3 one in the cinematic, and we have to hope that maybe they do have like actual classics for most of the characters.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy. I don't know why they wouldn't.
It's like the same thing with Injustice. If you have the opportunity to put in the classic outfits, fucking do it. That's gonna be a complaint of mine if we get the game and there's not actual like classic outfits.
Yeah, that is strange. I do like some of the classic redesigns, by the way. I like Scorpions, but I do
Yeah, it's not that they're bad.
and
it's
Raidens.
just-
But yeah, I do wish for like the quilted, V and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have too much more to say about Kitana. I liked her fatality. I liked her fatal blow. I know some of you guys in the chat weren't big fans of it just because the bounce looks a little silly, but
I thought it was a bit too simple. Like I don't like Katana Super in like any of the 3 games that were released recently because I don't like the stabbing. I wish he did more with like the actual fan cutting, and I don't know. It was like a very quick 3-piece like sequence, and I don't know. It's kind of the same thing where she just drops down on you or something, or like they drop down on your head or whatever, like onto the fans or whatever. I just didn't like it too much.
I think my favorite part of it is actually the startup. Not the motion to start it. I think it's cooler in MKX when she does the twirls with the multiple slices, with the glittery effect. I thought that was a cooler starting of her. This one, she just kind of like does like the Hulk clap basically with her fans. So that was a little bit weird, but I like the first actual motion in it where she throws it into your chest and then runs up and drop kicks it. I love that.
That was kind of cool. Yeah, that was the best part. And I like the teleport after, where she like after it's done, she like teleports away or whatever. Like
Yeah.
in 9. That was kind of cool.
I do like the dropkick a lot, but my problem with that is we just saw Noob do that, and I feel like Noob did it better.
He does. I think. Yeah.
I mean, what makes Noob so cool is that after he dropkicks, he falls into the portal like he doesn't give a fuck.
No,
That
I
is
do like
so
that.
tight.
I think they both have some I like Noob's like style better with it, but I like that Kitana's throwing something into you, then running and kicking it into you.
Well, I like that Noob like has his buddy running forward with him, and he drops kicks him. Like that's the best part to me.
I wish fucking Kitana had the same exact crushing blow as fucking Noob Saibot, but is Jade like holding him instead and fucking that'd be tight.
It's Melina.
Also, it was a bit.
Just add more salt to the wounds.
That'd be good. I was just gonna mention too. It's like it's not even just Noob that we saw do that, but Aaron also just has that dropkick move. So it's like there's a lot of drop kicks in this game. Like,
I mean, there's a lot of repetition in general. They have to come up with how many moves for people. Like, there's so many teleports, so many status effect or like dot damage ones that you throw it onto the ground. Like, so many people have similar moves, which not necessarily is a bad thing, but you know, it's definitely noticeable. How many
you start to notice it more.
Fatalities have eyeball stuff? So
yeah.
But I mean, that's noticeable, but not necessarily horrible. But I mean, I guess that's what you're gonna get when you're trying to come up with all these things for people. But yeah, I really want to see what else Kitana has. Man, I'm gonna be even more bummed out like if we don't end up using custom variations and we just stick with the tournament standards. Not that first tournament standard one was bad. I think it has a lot of what I liked in MKX, but like we barely saw any of her like extra specials unless she didn't have a whole lot. So if there is other cool things in there, it's like, well, I don't get to use them now because they're not in the 2 standard ones. And the second standard competitive one is the Melina variation, which I don't have any desire to really use. So
you're kind of stuck with one.
I'm stuck with one pretty much.
Yeah, she feels like a one variation character.
So that already is like, so I hope, I don't know, we should probably ask Temp on that, but because we've been talking about what we're going to do in terms of the competitive ranked, and because I know you're going to compete in tournament, but we don't know what tournament's even going to do right now. Are they going to follow the ranked set? Are they going to try and do custom?
They're doing presets for now, and the only reason is really because of the interfacing. I think everyone's okay with the variation balance as we understand it now, but it would take too long for people to customize their loadouts, so we have to do presets at the moment.
Yeah, because they didn't make like a specific like custom variation UI for the menu. When you're like picking a character or whatever, you'd have to go back every single time and do that.
What's scary about that is Ketchup. Oh man, it was one of the twins. I don't remember which one. I want to say it was Mustard, but Mustard did a video on custom variations, and you know everyone's been saying the same thing. Ultra David, the twins, they've all been saying just make an interface menu with a select screen. It'll take 5 seconds once players to start up the match. And so one of the developers in the chat said, "Listen, guys, the select screen interface is like the easiest part of the debate.
Yeah.
We're not worried about the interface. There's other reasons we can't do this." And everyone's stomach just hit this.
I saw that too. That was the Danish dude, right?
Yes,
again, dude. He is shit.
Does he even work for Interest, man?
Well, he's the one that designed the select screen, so he would be the one that.
Oh, that makes sense.
I didn't know that. Dude.
That's funny though. Still, like.
Well, do you have any idea what else could be the problem?
I'm thinking. Yes, I do have some ideas. Perhaps balance is one of them. But I think the other problem is the presets they created are not 3-slot presets. This is a theory. I don't know for sure.
Boy.
But I have a feeling the presets that are in the game right now encompass more than 3-slot, moves. They have more than 3+ moves. They're completely different than anything you can create inside the variation system. But this is a theory. I don't know.
I don't think. Well, I mean, we saw them choose them in the combat cast. Like those were tournament. They said these are the actual competitive variations. And we saw them select it on the select screen at some point. I'm trying to find that part in the video.
Show the moves.
To see what moves are like. Here, I think I found it.
Okay.
No, it was when they were doing Jax vs. Kano. Let me go back. Anyways, keep talking. But yeah, I'm trying to find these because they for sure were using the tournament standard ones.
I remember them saying like Jax had like the air throw, the grapple, and something else.
And they actually go to
follow that theory then.
They actually go and select them, in the variation thing. So I'm curious if it shows what moves are actually attached to it. Man, where is this?
It's also possible the bases are different on the presets. Like instead of the base 3 moves on this preset, there's actually it's not really base plus custom formula anymore. That's another theory. But then again, like Cyborg said, if they or like you both said, there's like 3 moves, you know, I guess demonstrated in the select screen that I don't know. Balance is the only thing I can think of.
That's why I keep thinking it's like, what the fuck is Raiden's variations even going to be if it's 3 moves? Because he had like 20 specials, so what is he going to even get?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Down 4 and I talked about that before, where we thought, you know, maybe the competitive ones will be like some sort of super variation that you can't actually create in a custom setting, so that would make it a little bit more, I guess, fun and interesting for the competitive crowd, so you're not just kind of stuck with those very limited movesets. But I don't know, man. Like, if that's true, I don't know. It's frustrating because, like I said, if I want to play Kitana right now, here we go. I finally found that part of the video. Okay, so Jax has 3 slots. He has I'm trying to see it, like, make out what those are. He has one that's a slam.
Yeah, he has to slam, the air throw, and then something else. I remember them saying that during the match.
Yeah, there's only 3 slots there on the select screen, so unless it's somehow not showing all the moves that are part of that variation. Because yeah, each of Jax's 2 variations he has to select from each have 3 slots filled. Same with Kano. Yeah.
That's disappointing.
I guess the light at the end of the tunnel is that if they're able to fix the netcode, they're able to fix this. Because we don't really know what even the problem is. I'm not sure what's going on in the coding of the game that would prevent this, but
they mentioned too that they're thinking about it. It's like they'll consider it. So
yeah,
it could like in a few months maybe we'll be playing custom variations. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's. I would say it's likely, but I said Kintaro was likely. So I'm at a point. I'm scared to say anything anymore.
Nothing's likely in this game. You've told me Cyrax. You've told me. Look,
Cyrax is gonna have so many variation moves.
No, dude. Cyrax is not in the game, and Frost. Who knows, man? There's nothing likely about this game. We thought Shang was likely going to be on the base roster even before the leaks and all that. We all figured he'd be part of that base roster just because it just made sense that he'd be a key character for this game, and he's not there till DLC. So,
I mean, what the hardest? I guess the Kintaro was not the biggest blow. The biggest blow was doing a beta review on the Warrior Shrine, and the next day they confirmed variations were not tournament viable.
Right?
That hurt so bad. That was rough. Because everything I said was invalidated. I talked for an hour and a half about variation hopes, and in less than 24 hours it was all invalidated. Like, can't even begin to explain what that was.
It's bad timing. That sucks. Gosh, I'm struggling because, like, if we end up going with, because I'm gonna try, you know, it's pointless for me to learn custom variations if you guys aren't gonna play with that. I'm gonna be playing with you guys, so I'm not even worried about ranked matchmaking or anything. I'm wanting to just use things that I can use online against my friends because I don't have any desire to play randoms as much. So I don't know. That's frustrating to me because if I be stuck with that one variation with Kitana, with Frost, I'm going to be, you know, we're all going to be in the same boat of hoping that the two variations are even worth a damn or like to our liking, and that there's not going to be special moves that we're like, oh, that would be like a much more fun way to play this character. So
yeah, we're all going to be playing the same Kitana.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if I get accustomed to like a move, that's why I don't want to play custom variations is because I don't want to get accustomed to a version of the character I can't play, because if I enjoy them more, it will make me not want to use them in the preset. So I don't even want to like experience that if it's like better than the preset, because I won't enjoy the characters.
Well, if I have different setups in the tournament version, then I'm not really learning the matchup in ranked. I'm learning things that aren't going to apply. It's just
It's like then you'll play like a preset match and then be like, I don't know what to do without that move. It's like it's just setting yourself up for like.
I know.
You're gonna fuck yourself over.
I see. Like, I get it. It just sucks because, especially as from my perspective, where it's like, I don't give a shit about ranked play. I'm not going to be in any tournaments either. And as long as custom or casual matches or whatever, you don't have the augment shit, which we already know they don't. Plus they have true skill matchmaking. It's just going to suck basically being locked out of so much of what the game has to offer just purely because gotta get that ranked match. Gotta get that tourney.
There's also going to be less people in ranks. It's going to be harder to find matches in a few months, possible. Or maybe not. The game's going to sell very well, but it is going to minimize the player base in both camps, and I don't think that's a good.
It just simplifies the whole game to a point where it's like you're not even using so much more of what's available to you. You could be playing a character exactly the way you want it, but instead we got to play the game that they want. And just so disappointing.
Yeah, that's the biggest disappointment by far.
Well, whatever. That's just gonna lead to more pure like sad for me. But moving on. Cetrion. Any other thoughts on what they showed other than I guess she has that extra wind tunnel move that?
Yeah. I watched that and like my stomach dropped when I saw that move. I know it's probably like I'm realistically, I still think he has a chance, but like just seeing that, it literally made me feel sick for like a good like 5 seconds. Like I was just like, oh fuck, like oh my god, is he not gonna get in again? I don't know. Like I don't know. It's very worrying, like because I want him so much, but just seeing that because the first wind move, like it was so lame. I didn't even think like anything about it. I'm just like, oh, she has like one shitty wind move, doesn't matter. But then she has like this Mythologies tornado thing that actually looks like a cool ass Fujin move. I'm like, oh fuck, like that sucks to me. Like if this actually, if he's not in, like I don't think him not getting in is because of Cetrion. But if he doesn't get in again, it will make me resent her more.
Yeah, I think the causality is backwards. I think because he didn't make it in, they gave a shit to Cetrion, not the other way around.
Yeah. That's exactly it. I'll just be still super sad if he doesn't get in. That's not even related to Cetrion, really. It's just the.
No, I mean it's a topic we're discussing because I mean that was the big takeaway from her breakdown. Other than that, she's really good at keep away, but I don't know, man. I just want to know the DLC of this game. Give us Combat Pack 1 because I feel like that could really change this roster. Like it really could help flesh it out a little bit more. Like I like the roster. It's still decent. It's just, man, it's kind of like it's in the same boat as MKX, not from a quality perspective, but MKX was, we've all rated it like a D plus, D minus, whatever. Like it was all kind of in that same boat for all three of us. Whereas this one, I would give like a B minus, somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around a B minus, and I think it has the potential to get into A tier with, 3-4 characters that are specific, like out of like a bucket of 6 characters. Like if it gets a Fujin, Rain, Cyrax, Smoke, Serena, Li Mei, Nightwolf, Reiko, Ashra, some combination of those, like. If it gets some combination, a Sindel you could throw in there. Like if it gets, at least 4 of those of the ones that we didn't get in X, I feel like it could go so far into getting this up to like an A tier roster. But man, it's just like I just need to know that DLC. But I'm concerned that we're not going to know it for a while. I don't know why I have this concern. Like that wasn't the case with Injustice 2, wasn't the case with MKX. But I just have this feeling like for some reason they're just going to hold out on it until like, I don't know, at least a couple weeks out.
It's a different experience going into this game. My thoughts on MKX are well documented, but going into that game, I was just electric with excitement. The day the game came out, like when I got out of work early to go to GameStop to pick up my copy, my mind was all over the place. I was a mess. I was so excited for the game. I do not feel that way at all right now. And I don't expect them, unless they show something insane, I don't feel like I'm ever going to feel that way. I'm so excited for the game. I'm still looking forward to playing it, but in a very, very different sense. And because you're right, Cyborg, I think this is a much better roster. But the difference is, going into MKX, we had this brand new variation system. I had 3 Sub-Zeros to learn, and I had Shinnok. And right now, all I have is Kung fucking Lao. That's all I got. So it's like, I'm excited, but I'm not excited to play my favorite character like I was with MKX. I'm excited to flawless block jump kicks. So it's just not the same. I'm excited to learn strings. I'm excited to become a better player, but it's such a different beast. And that's no one's fault, but yeah.
Would having KP1 announced and like Nightwolf or Sindel or something make you more excited, or would that just be like salt on the wound that you don't get?
I think excited is the wrong word. It would make me happier. It would not make me more excited, though. April 23rd is still April 23rd with Nightwolf announced. That date does not change, but I'd be happier, though. I think really the key is that it's not bad to not be excited, and it's no one's fault that I didn't get my picks. It's not even NetherRealm's fault. It's not the same. God, and it's funny how that game turned out. That it's so ironic. It may be the opposite this time. Maybe the iceberg is kind of flipped upside down. The launch day is going to be just sort of like this lukewarm entrance, and this may end up being one of my favorite fighting games of all time, as opposed to MKX, where they had the red carpet and all the fucking like entourage, like flashing cameras, and then it's like a fucking 50-50 fest.
What you're saying is MKX was more sizzle, less steak, and this might be less sizzle, more steak.
Yeah, that's well, there was steak, but it was like burnt. It was like well done. So yeah, there could be some real substance there, So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe this will be the narrow path. We'll see.
I feel a little bit of that. I'm still really excited, and I know as we get closer and closer, like when it comes time to play it that night, I'm gonna be electric. I'm just gonna be so just super excited. But right now, I'm in like a weird period where it's like I'm just all over the place. Like sometimes I'm really digging certain things. I'm really excited about certain things. Other times, it's just kind of like you're more down about the things that you really wish were there that aren't, or certain characters, or I don't know.
No, I'm the same.
Yeah, it's just been all over the place, man. I think in a weird way, even though this was such a short like reveal cycle between announcement and release, it's like somehow they found a way to really like make me feel super stressed and anxious along the way in that very compact period. Like, do you want to be drawn out, tortured for 10, 11 months, just kind of lightly tortured as it goes on, or do you just want to be get it all out of the way in a 4.5 month period?
Yeah, it's like, do you want the water torture, or do you want to be thrown into the fire? What's your pick? What do you want to do?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. And some of it's just like self-inflicted. Not necessarily myself, but I swear that spoiler chat with the leaks and the talk of the speculation and this and that, and this is like, I think all of that just kind of started to drive me insane. Like, it just got to be so much, like, to stress out about what's in the game versus what's not in the game. Like, I've been watching a lot of Max and his streams with, Kenny and Steve and all them, and I've been watching a lot of his stuff, and I watched all of his like old MK Legacy videos, and I've been watching their current streams that are several hours long each, every few nights of the week. And honestly, just like, it's so nice to just not even think about and get swept up into the what's in the game versus what's not in the game, because at the end of the day, like, I think I'm like happiest and most content and just like super thrilled about the game when I just don't put too much stock into those details, I guess. Like the very specific, I got to have this, and this needs to be in the game. It's got to have tag mode. It's got to have a team mode online. It's got to have this specific character. Like, I think that in itself causes more just like dissatisfaction, or you kind of don't see the forest through the trees, so to speak. Like, just be able to step back and just realize, hey, this is Mortal Kombat. And the gameplay is so much better than what we got last time. They gave us so much of what we asked for that we didn't even think we'd get. The story looks fun. Whether you're a big lore guy or not, I'm not a huge lore guy, but I'm sure the story's going to be fun to go through and see all the different characters interact and that cool stuff. The roster is better than MKX. The character models are insane. They look so much better. The art of the game looks so much better. The colors, the vibrancy, just the style of the game is so much better. It's got more brutalities. The fatalities for the most part have looked really good. We're getting some of our favorites back that we really wanted, and just I don't know, like it's just doing so much more. Like this time around, it's just the quality is so much better that I just feel like there's so much there that we wanted and asked for, and we got it. So now that it's here, I just feel like it's kind of a shame to get so wrapped up in, did Molina make the roster? Did Cyrax make the roster? Did Smoke make the roster? Like, it sucks. But at the same time, it's still Mortal Kombat. Like, this is still...
You gotta stop and smell the roses. Like, you gotta...
Yeah, and I feel like...
take your time.
I feel like we're missing it. Like, I know I've missed some of it at certain points where I get, like, caught up on certain things, and I feel like other people are doing the same. And it's like, there's so much good about this game. There's just so much good about it. And to, like, look past the 90% that's awesome for the 10% that's not, or even 5% that's not, it's like, just feel like it's kind of missing it. Like, we're almost taking the game too seriously. Like, at what point does becoming a fan or being a fan of something, like a hardcore fan, like start to become a negative? Like, to the point where you're just like, you're more critical and just critiquing the bad instead of just accepting, like, and enjoying the good for everything that it is. Like, I just, like, this game is just insane. Like I said, just, you go back to what we asked for. You know, that initial reveal, I've listened to that reveal reaction that we all did of when the game got first announced, not even the reveal event, but when the game first got announced, we were so happy. But our big hang up still was, we don't know the roster and we don't know the gameplay. But just from like a story perspective and how transparent they were with the beta and the short reveal cycle, like, there's just so much there to love, and I feel like they've shown us so much in the 21 stages even. Like, they're giving us all these awesome stages. There's just so much we asked for to just get so caught up in those things that didn't go our way. I feel like it just kind of does a disservice to how much they're doing, and it sucks for us as fans because I feel like we're not appreciating it for what it is.
I do feel like the shorter release time or the shorter reveal schedule has something to do with that too, because there's less time to, stop and, think about the game more and like see it more throughout like a year, as opposed to like 4 months where you're just like jam packed full of fucking information and
I could see
get
that.
used to the game faster. And it's like, it doesn't feel like the game is coming out in 10 days to me. It feels more like it's coming out in like 3 months.
Yeah, it is.
It's weird.
That in itself is just so insane. Like, I prefer it this way. I still do, because I'd rather wait less than more, easily. But I don't know, man. It's just like, that's what I got to remind myself. Like, when I go back and play old Mortal Kombat or watch old Mortal Kombat videos of just enjoying the game, and I think back to like growing up and just how much I've loved this series and how much enjoyment I've gotten out of this series just discussing it with people. And it's like, it's when I think of it that way and kind of step back that it's just like, this game is awesome, and I don't want to... That's why for so long now, for the last couple months at least, I've just been like, I just want a character that I can get excited about as a main, because that was like the only thing that's holding me back, is not the gameplay, not the roster in itself, not all the other aspects of the game. It's just no character jumped out at me as like, I cannot wait to get my hands on this character. Like, no character was doing that for me. Johnny looked cool, Lou looked cool, but it was just like interested in a character. It wasn't like that giddy excitement where you're like, oh my god, I cannot wait to learn this character. Like, I didn't have that. And in a way, I still don't. Collector, I think, is probably the one that I got most excited about. Kitana is kind of like the most nostalgia. Like, oh, I saw some MKX stuff, but in a cooler, nicer looking setting. So I'm like, ooh, that'd be fun to learn. But yeah, so I don't know. And I know, Temp, you're in the same boat. It's the character that's kind of...
Yeah, I mean,
sticking it to you as much where it's like hard to fully go all in with the game, I guess.
I'm also like, for me, this sounds horrible, but I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, and it's been true since day one. Criticizing things helps me actually. It helps me to tear things down if I think they're wrong or if I think they're incorrect or if I don't think they're sound. You guys know me. I'll take my opinions all the way to the gallows. And even if I love this game, I think I will like this game a lot. But love it or hate it, like my opinion on Fujin is going to be the same in September as it's going to be in December, as it's going to be in 2020, as it's going to be in 2023. Just like it was with MKX, and I think that helps me. I think the sort of like dividing what I love and what I don't love. That process for me is very therapeutic. So I don't know. I feel like the roses make it worse for me. I'm glad I don't smell the roses. The roses I feel like actually make it more difficult because I'm always going to be looking at the bad things with my peripheral. Always. I can't. That's the way I'm built. I can't help it. Even if I find the good thing, I'm like, I gotta talk shit about the bad thing. I can't help it. It's just how I'm constructed. I'm always going to be that way. But in a way that helps though. And I mean, I always say if people think I'm wrong, like if let's say people think I was wrong to criticize, I don't know, Cabal's design. I love talking about it because that helps me too. As long as you're not a dick, I love to discuss it with you. That's what helps me. Like that's just kind of what gets me through.
Yeah, no, I get it. Everybody operates differently and is constructed differently at their core, all the way to the surface. People. It's just kind of like how do you deal with tragedy? Some people laugh, some people cry, some people don't want to talk about it, some people do want to. Everybody handles things differently and gets through life differently, I guess, and so that makes sense. I guess my only point in all of that was I just want everybody to enjoy as much as they can at the end of the day. Obviously, we all want to like this game. Nobody goes into a game being like, man, I hope I hate this game. Like, we're all buying it. We're all fans here.
I paid $100 for it. I don't know why people would think I think that, but
yeah.
And if I had to give probably the biggest praise of the roster is more than any other MK game, they took characters I didn't care about and made me like them more. Like, I never liked Cassie. I think Cassie looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Baraka looks fantastic. Mid-range combos aside, I think Jade still looks pretty good. Who else is
That's a bittersweet thing about it, though, is the more they make these characters look awesome, the more you're just like, man, if only my character was in here, then they could be all awesome, too.
What if this was Kentaro? Yeah, that's the thing.
It is a bittersweet thing.
I don't... Well, I mean, granted, the big exception to that is Kano. I'm like, I really thought Kano was going to be sick in this game. And I looked at Kano, I was like, okay, I'm not sure about that.
He's worse.
Yes. Yes, he is.
But yeah, no, I don't know. We're getting so close. I hope there is more to it, though. I will say, like, I know we've talked about Melina, whether she's in the game or not in the game, whether she's deconfirmed or not. I hope... I'm not a Melina fan. I don't hate Melina by any means, but I'm not a Melina fan. But, Down 4 hates Melina. But, no, I just... I do hope there's some surprises for us still, because... we're so close to the game, and that's why I say I hope it doesn't leak, is because do I want to find out something 4 days before the game comes out, or do I just want to wait those 4 days and get the game? Because that's basically what we're talking about here. And I'd rather just get the game at that point. Like, yeah, being able to see Frost and stuff and seeing if there's secret characters. Is Shinnok there? Is Melina there? Is Rain there? Is any other character there that we weren't expecting? Because that would be amazing and huge if this roster's bigger than what we thought just off the base. But
before Danish started talking shit, I really thought there was a likelihood that there was 4 unlockable characters because that was consistent with what I knew about the leaks. So when he said that, that's when I started really second guessing myself. Apollo said there were unlockables. That wasn't an unrealistic belief. Apollo just straight up said there are going to be unlockable characters now. That's going to be the story mode unlock, and that's it.
That's like Frost, who I would imagine is the story mode unlock, just because I always thought, you know,
sure.
for a long time now, for at least a couple months now, I felt like I said Frost is likely going to be the secret character that you unlock by playing through story, because it probably was, they didn't intend anybody to even know she was in the game to begin with. Other than that very brief shot in the story mode trailer, which she's, you know, completely covered in a hood and all that, you wouldn't even know that's Frost unless you would be able to maybe speculate that it was, but even then, like, it's just, I feel like it was supposed to be more of a surprise, but then you had the achievement leaks and the trophy leaks and all that stuff that gave it away anyways, beyond just the select screen pictures. So I feel like when he said, yeah, there's secret characters, I feel like that's what he meant. I don't think he meant there was secret characters in addition to the 25.
That was before the leaks too.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it would be Frost.
Because, yeah, she's probably, I figured she'd be the one that's like, she fits perfectly for that, in a sense of, she had a decent amount of fans asking for her. Not like the most amount of fans, but a decent amount of fans to that a lot of people would be happy to see another 3D era character that hasn't been brought back yet. She was the number one
requested 3D era character, bar none.
Easily, you know, I would say that for sure.
And that's not even among just the 3D era polls. Like when they did an Event Hubs poll, which is everyone, Street Fighter fans, Tekken fans, they said, who did you want in Mortal Kombat 11? And it was Frost and Noob Saibot. Those were the two most requested.
Interesting.
So she's very, very beloved. I love the 3D era, and she's probably not in my top 3, but I like her a lot, though, so I'm glad she's coming back. Glad she's coming back.
What? Come on, now. You don't gotta be like that. Just depends what kind of bald you're talking about. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
We're done here. It's probably just metal down there anyways. But
that's true, yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. I
just
forgot
clank,
about that.
clank.
Oh god.
It's gonna be all cold and shit. Fuck that.
Yeah. Maybe she's got a warmer like built in.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, no, that's true.
No, but seriously, there could be more. Like, there could be more. Supposedly, they had said that there's a mode, like a game mode, that they haven't even announced yet, that nobody even knows about. So that's a possibility. I don't know.
I'd be curious to see what that is.
Yeah,
I'll say this: the leaks did make me sad that Shinnok is not in. I was really looking forward to him.
We don't necessarily know that he's not in.
I mean, there's like 20% chance, maybe. I think so, at least. If he's in, I'd be hype as shit. I know Timp would be hype as shit.
Yeah, I don't think hope is lost on them being in the game. I just wouldn't expect them, and that's the stance I've taken for a while now. Is that it's just keep your expectations low.
I think the only thing that really hurts Shinnok is the head in the background for the stage, because he's very prominent in the story mode so far. And it seems like Chronica and him are going to have it back and forth in the story mode as well. So
and Cetrion too.
Well,
and Cetrion, I forgot about that.
And he's not in Interactable.
And Kano's in the background of the.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not in actual.
And Johnny's in the other one, the hangar. So it's not necessarily a bad.
Yeah, that's true, but we'll see. I would really like Shinnok because I feel like he needs redemption more than any other MKS character. I was really unhappy with how he turned out.
Yeah, that leak made me like start thinking about it. It's like I wasn't expecting Shinnok for this game, so when it's like it's an actual possibility that he's back and how everyone looks so good, I'm like, shit, like Shinnok would be a good choice. I'd be very excited. But that's the bad thing about leaks, basically. That's why this game made me hate leaks more than any other game.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm so fucking sick of them. I don't want MK12 or whatever to get leaked. I don't want Injustice 3 to get leaked because it's just drama and it's just shit. Fuck leaks.
No, I'm with you, dude.
I want to be excited about a game. Fuck these. I just hate speculating about leaks and shit.
You, me, and Temp all wanted out of that leak chat eventually. Yeah. Like we were all in the same boat where it just got to be too much. Where it's just like every day, nonstop, like leak hunting and going after leaks. And is this accurate? And then it's not just enough to like discuss them. Then it becomes like trust me, this person's in. Like, and it becomes like a thing to try and prove one way or the other. Then people get into debates and arguments, and people are saying, no, trust me, they're in. Then people are like, I don't know, and then blah, 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 blah. It's just, Jesus.
That's like the fucking mafia, man. Like, they fucking pass around leaks and shit. It's like,
no, I know.
like, background, like, clubs and shit with leaks. It
got
crazy.
out of hand. It's just, it's gross. I just want to enjoy the game, and the leaks can be positive in certain aspects. We all want to know things sooner rather than later, especially if it's relating to, like, is my favorite character in the game or not. That's where it can be a good thing, but yeah, it does get to a point where it's like, we don't need to know every little thing about this game before it comes out. There's nothing wrong with waiting, especially with the shorter reveal cycle. This time has just flown by to me. I don't know about you guys, but it still feels like just yesterday we were waiting for that first combat cast for Cabal.
Yes and no. Yes, the time has flown, but these last 3 months have been some of the most difficult months I've had in years, just because of this work has been awful. And like studying for the certifications, God, it sucked so hard working 8 hours and then studying for another 2.5 hours every single day was so hard. So yes and no, it flew. But God, did I feel those days. I can feel them in my stomach to this day. It's not over yet. It's not even fucking done. I'm going to work tomorrow and guess what I'm doing after that? Anyway, yeah, so the funny thing about the leaks chat, though, is I wasn't in there very long. Or I didn't know what it was until I realized I was, part of that. And I didn't out because it was bumming me out. When I did read about the leaks, I thought they were interesting. But I was worried that something was going to spill over. So I was like, this is getting kind of big. So it's like, I'm afraid this could blow up. Because outside of that thread, I knew other people had information.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like I need to get out of here. Because like the day after I left is when the TYM thing went up. But before then, I was like, does anybody hear that? We need to get out of here. And then that's when all that shit blew up and on TYM and all of it came apart. I missed that was like just 4 hours.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
And I thought everyone's going to look at me because I just left the leaks.
Yeah, you just... What TYM?
What'd you do, John?
The storms.
But yeah, hopefully we get... Right now, all I'm looking forward to, other than the game itself, is just... I want to know the combat pack. I feel like that could alleviate a lot. Just know the combat pack. I just want to know what other characters are coming.
That is probably the epicenter of hope right now for me, because if the leaks are true, I get a lot of characters I want. But if the leaks are not true, then there's other characters there's still hope for. 2 of my favorites now are back in the bidding.
Yeah.
So the DLC is a very optimistic point.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think we're all in that boat except for D4 because he got everything he wanted. I'm just kidding. But seriously,
I'm just saying, all I'm writing on right now is Fujin. That's if I get Fujin, I'm content. But if I don't get Fujin, I will be upset.
Like Fujin is this
he's
whole
like,
giant
if I get
topic.
Fujin, I'll be content. If I don't get Fujin, I'll rest back on the 8 characters I have in the game.
Okay, well, this is the thing. It's like I love Cabal, but if I don't get a better design for Cabal, it's like something's missing. I feel like Fujin, he would have a good design. And if I get Fujin, it's like I need a backup, like, true character I love. It's like I like Jax and I like Kodal and Aaron, but I need, like, the second character I really love, I feel like.
Well, Fujin is just this whole other topic, too. Like,
yeah,
whether Fujin should or shouldn't be in it, it goes so far beyond that scope. It's an issue of how on earth would this many requests did a character not make it? Like, it's literally Fujin Gate. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's a whole, like, yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully,
from my perspective, yeah.
Hopefully in the next week, I really do hope we get at least silhouettes. Let us fucking pick apart as long as they're accurate silhouettes, I'll gladly stare at those and fucking make mock-ups in Photoshop. As long as they're like the Injustice 2 ones where we can pretty much get a good idea of most of those characters, then I'll be happy with that. I just want to be able to...
Can you guys do like a 2-hour like analysis on the KP2?
Yeah, we did something like
back
that.
Then. Yeah.
But yeah, I just want. That's really the only, like I said, other than the game itself. That's all I'm waiting for is just want to know who's DLC, because that can change things. You know, if I know Nightwolf is coming, if I know Fujin's coming, if I know a Cyrax or a Smoke, like. Those all are big characters that I would love to see in this game. and were the ones that sucked the most that they didn't make the game. So that could be huge. So I'm hoping that that's the case, and I'm in the same boat that you are, Temp. That like, if it's true, if the leaks are true, I'm very happy with those DLC characters. Though my personal favorite is not in there. Two of them, really. I wanted Cyrex.
Identical situations. Yeah.
I wanted Cyrex and Smoke, and to some degree Ashra as well, if I'm being selfish. So it's like, that's a big thing. But then, if they aren't true, then that sucks, because then Fujin and Nightwolf aren't a guarantee. But then Smoke, Cyrex, those characters are back in the running. So
I harken back to what Maximilian said in his Noob Saibot reaction video. He was just giggling, and then he saw Noob Saibot's air teleport, and he just said, "Man, we need some more sick-ass ninjas."
Yeah.
And I just felt the ripple of that statement go through the whole fan base.
it's true.
And everyone was on the same frequency for that moment he said it. We were all one people, one family in that
How many
statement.
did
I was like,
MKX
God, that's
had?
so true.
They had Subscorp, Reptile, and Noob.
Ermac.
Or yeah, not Noob, Ermac. I don't know why I said Noob. But
And then Tremor as DLC.
and Tremor is DLC. So that's 5 total.
And this game has 3?
3 right now?
Yeah,
Subscorp
a
and
historical low for male ninjas at least.
Huh.
A historical high for female ninjas, though, outside of Armageddon.
I think it's actually a historical high for females in general. It's around 10 or so.
Which is good. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9 on the base roster if you count Frost and Devora.
That's really good.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a decent amount out of a 25 character roster. That's a decent fraction.
Did y'all still want to go over Devora?
Yeah, we're gonna go over Devora and hit some questions here real quick.
Well, I gotta go to the restroom. That's
Go
why
ahead.
I'm bringing her up.
Go ahead.
So, okay, I'll be back.
But yeah, I just hopefully we get that DLC, because yeah, that's really it that we gotta wait for. Is that's really the only thing that's up in the air right now. Is what other characters? I mean, it all comes down to the roster. We're all in the same kind of the most important things about the game are gameplay and roster. For a fighting game, in my opinion, those are the most important things: gameplay and roster. So yeah, we're all in the same kind of boat of just wanting to see what other characters are going to make it. And usually we have the combat pack revealed by now, so that's where I'm a little worried. It's usually about a week before the game, week or two before the game, so I don't know.
Yeah, the Fighter Pack 1 for Injustice 2 came out on May 5th, I think, and the game was released May 16th. So that's around the same time that we're at right now.
Okay, so maybe next week,
yeah.
Maybe at some point, because, I mean, that's not, like I said about earlier in the chat, we don't necessarily need a combat cast for the combat pack reveal trailer. That's something that they could just throw up on YouTube and a press release goes out.
Yeah, they didn't do like a big combat cast for the Fighter Pack reveal, so.
Yeah, so that's just, we're just waiting for, hopefully, any day now it comes out. So could be as early as next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, hopefully.
The only weird thing with this is that we already got Shang revealed, so it's like, is that like the only DLC that we get like now, or?
Well, didn't Jason get?
Strange.
Jason got revealed before the rest of the combat pack, if I
think he
remember
did.
right. Because he got
think he did.
revealed.
Let me look it up.
He got revealed a little early, like a couple weeks before the actual combat pack, like a week or something before the rest of them. And so, because I remember that specifically. I don't remember in Injustice 2 if any of them got revealed before. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think it was the 3 and then the 3 on
right.
each side.
About Jason, I mean. Yeah, he was revealed March 13th, and I think KP1 was like March 22nd or something.
Okay. See, it is odd to show Shang earlier than the rest by that long. It's been about... Because he got shown on March 22nd. I remember that's when the C2E2 happened, a couple weeks now.
It feels like a month.
I know, like I said, dude, time is flying. It just feels like it's forever ago, but I guess... Well, I guess the other way around, but yeah. So I don't know, man. I just... That's really the only... That could be hype. That could be some nice last minute like reassurance of some of these characters that were bummed didn't make the cut. You know, be it a Fujin, Nightwolf, Cyrax, Smoke, Serena, Li Mei, any of those characters, whatever. Like, have some of those characters shown off in the Combat Pack 1, and that could do a lot of good.
Yeah, I view it as almost like vanilla MK3 and then UMK3 after the DLC. Like
Yeah,
where we're at kind of right now.
especially because I mean, if you see a character on there, it means at one point you're going to be able to play as them, even if you don't stick with the game. Like 4 months out, you're moved on to something else for a little bit, and then it's like there's no way we're just not going to play the game anymore. So it's like at one point you're going to be playing. Yeah, it's something to look forward to. It's another reason to put the game back in and play and learn that character. You know, take it for another spin and get hooked again. So I guess that's really the only big thing. So let's move on to Devora, and then we'll answer some questions. So Devora, let's see. Give me one moment. I'm gonna shut this door. All right. But yeah, Devora. So she was shown off in the Kitana trailer as well, and we got a breakdown of Devora. I think she looks really cool in this game. Her design looks better than what they showed off originally. That first render, which they said was an old render, looked a little strange. But now that she has her hoodie back and all that, I think it looks better. She has her oviraptors, oviraptor,
like oviraptors,
yeah, something like that. Her little spider thingies. Those are out all the time now, which I think is a good call. It makes her look even creepier, that's for sure. But those are out all the time, so that's cool. And she's got some cool new specials. I think Widow's Kiss looks really, really good. That's the one where she does like the teleport and then comes down and like a spider.
Like wraps you, yeah.
Yeah, I think. Cool move. Yeah, the Amplify wraps. The normal version, I think, just bites them or whatever. So she does that. She does. She has like a little crawl on this, like a spider on the ground. She's got like a bug.
Special?
Or
a normal?
Know. Might be a normal. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. I would guess special, but I don't know.
Watching her breakdown, I could not tell like what was what. It was just like bug shit to me. I honestly did not know what was going on.
She throws like bees out like a normal projectile. They kind of go slowly across the screen. She can amplify for a second one. They look like highs, so they didn't look like they're too much trouble to deal with.
They're pretty slow, but it's like the type of slow where it's like they kind of are stuck.
Yeah, because you could just duck under those, and I don't think she had any. I mean, she had, I guess, like a ground special, kind of like her old swarm ability, where it pops up underneath you eventually, or she can amplify it to do it instant for a combo.
Yeah, the puddle thing.
Yeah, she's got like a weird one. It looked like almost like a glitch, like it wasn't working correct, where it's like a bug that she lays down quickly. It's like a big fat bug, and it on the ground, and then it pops out like a little bug that flies up into the air and comes at you, but it like stops really short. Like Steve kept trying to do it, and he'd lay it down like about jump distance away, and he'd go in to put pressure on because it takes a little bit to start flying towards the opponent, and he'd put pressure on, which is what it was intended for, but then like it would just stop where Devora was and explode and not hit the opponent. So he's like, oh, maybe you got to do it closer. So when he did it, like he literally did it points blank, but his normal pressuring, just the string of them blocking her string, pushed them away far enough to where it didn't hit them. So I'm like, I don't know if they just need to tweak it or whatever, but it seemed like it was really kind of pointless.
I think Eris said it best. I think that's going to be for corner setups, and I have a feeling it's going to be good.
That's
true.
For
corner setups, even if you wake up and do like an up 3, or sorry, an up 2, like you get the launcher, you have to eat that bug thing, you know? So yeah, that's going to be interesting.
That's true. That would be good for corners. She's got a command grab, or not a command grab, anti-air, where she pulls you out of the air. And
she can combo off Amplify, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know if it was Amplify. I thought it was Crushing Blow, but maybe not.
Oh yeah, Crushing Blow. You might be right. Yeah. You're right.
But I don't know what the Amplify does though, so maybe it is Amplify too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember at all.
God, that Widow's Kiss looks so good. I think that's my favorite move of hers now.
Yeah, I agree. It looked good.
Yeah. It was cool seeing like Aaron wrapped up.
Yeah, just like that was tight. I'm watching it right now. It's really cool looking. So that's easily my favorite thing that she does. But yeah, other than that, I mean, she has the little bugs that she can like get like she builds up onto you, kind of like Dr. Fate's onks, and
What do those do? I was confused about that move.
eventually she can like keep building up more and more on you, and then she can choose to manually make them like pop off, basically, and they cause damage, instant damage on you.
Do they do? So they're not doing damage like while they're on you. It's just like the
Correct.
damage that you get
She
after.
chooses
Okay.
when she wants them to do damage. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like
because he said it was.
done.
He mentioned it was useful for like closing out rounds.
Yeah, because she can build them up, throughout the round, and then when they're close to the end of death, she can just pop them all off. So.
And they are unblockable, from my understanding. They can't.
Okay.
Yeah, they're unblockable. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
they are. Wow. Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think
That
they're doing
sounds
a whole
fucked
lot
up.
of damage, but yeah, if you get somebody to like danger zone, you could probably just finish them with that.
Yeah, if you're zoning with that shit on, they're gonna want to get in because if you pop that like at any time,
Yeah, you're
you're
done.
gonna get fucked.
And my understanding is you can do your squirt blaster amplify move and immediately get 5. So if you can
Yeah.
end a combo with that, that's
Oh
good.
wow.
Yeah, like the burst out of her stomach chest thing.
There's gonna be some setups for that.
Yeah, it's like the Nickelodeon
looks-
blast is what I call it. Yeah.
She also had that like 3 bug thing where like there's like 3 bugs and they like go upwards very slowly or something. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Where
Yeah,
like,
it's kinda
do,
like
yeah, 'cause
Shang's
you can
skulls.
throw the yeah.
yeah. I didn't know what that was used for, but it looks it looks good. Like,
They're just like
It just looks-
projectiles to have to avoid. She can do close, medium, or far, or she can amplify to set all 3 down.
yeah.
They're not tracking,
looks- yeah.
but yeah.
Right
Still have
now,
to, like,
she looks to be
respect
the best corner character in the game because she has something on Oki. She has something on neutral corner because if you throw that, they're going to have to jump or dash forward. They have no choice. They
Yeah,
just
she has a
block
fast
that
overhead.
pressure.
Yeah, she's got
Yes!
that
Oh
that
my God.
overhead spinning move. It's a equipable, so I don't think it's base, but she does
okay.
she does like the Takeda spins with her things.
I thought that
Oh, no,
move
I
was
was thinking of something else actually.
I was thinking
of
about
her
the
back
knockdown.
or the back 2 one is what
yeah, I
I
was
was
thinking of back 2 as well.
I was thinking of the one where she's doing like the front flip spin thing.
I mean, that looks really good too. That's her best looking move in my opinion.
That
Yes,
one looks
that
good
really-
too. I like the
that one
Widow's
looks
Kiss
like a
more, but
problem.
that one does look cool.
I saw it look goofy. It's like it's very
It's like
long.
it has like a Soul Calibur hitbox. It's
Yeah,
huge.
that's true. Yeah, she looks annoying though. Like they said she has like good pressure and like, is her? Oh, God, I don't know how to say that. The rush move, like, is that good for pressure? Is that like safe? Because it looks like it did good amount of chip.
Which move?
It's
It's
like
the classic MKX poke one, the stabby
yeah. It's a
Oh,
What
the
stabs?
the over whatever the hell. Shut up. All right, I just gotta attend to this 1 second. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta.
What's interesting about Devora is she looks and moves kind of like a homeless person. Like she seems kind of like sick in this game, like ill. Like she looks ill in this game. Like the way she
Yes.
moves is very like unnatural.
Yeah, she's not as like, I don't know, sassy. She's more like kind of decrepit.
She's more like she lost her job. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like her stance more in this game. She's like just kind of
Yeah, she looks good. Yeah, I like that her, like I said before, her things are out. But yeah, you're right. What the hell are they called? Over blah 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 blah.
We gotta look that up after. I don't know how to say it.
OV something. We'll just call it her little spider leg things. The rush of that. It doesn't look as good as it did in MKX.
It does.
Like-
It looks like it does way less chip, but that could be.
Yeah.
I don't know if they scaled that
Oh.
up. I can't tell.
I thought I saw it do decent chip. I might have not been paying.
Well, it may still do decent chip. My assumption is based on there appears to be significantly less attacks. Because that big thing in MKX wasn't just the fact that it did good chip, or the fact that it was a fast move, but I believe it was very good for breaking armor in that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it did a
So-
lot of moves very rapidly.
Yeah, there was.
That property is gone, it seems.
But yeah, I mean, she looks really good. I like her stance, and yeah, honestly, I thought everything. If you're a Devora fan, I think you're gonna love this character. If you're not a Devora fan, you're probably not gonna like her anymore. But
Yeah, this did not make me like Devora any more than. Honestly, she's like a bottom 2 character for me. I don't want to play her at all.
Same.
But
I don't
she-
want to play
like-
this game.
Yeah.
I don't have any real desire to play her. But I think she looks fantastic from everything I saw. Her gameplay looks like fun and creepy. They absolutely dialed in the creepy factor a lot, and
The
like
vagina abs in the intro are really like detailed now, and I don't like it. Like, they're really bad.
But outside of the intro, though, I feel like the things that creep me out about her in MKX have actually been toned down, to be honest with you. At least in the gameplay. There's a lot of misunderstanding on the Discord of why I don't like Devora. Everyone seems to think it's a bug thing.
It's
And
the
I
holes
don't
thing.
like bugs. Like, bugs suck. Like, I mean, I do, like, okay, I'm a weirdo when it comes to bugs, but not because they creep me out or because they're gross. I just don't want them on my food. Like, I put
Same.
my potato chips in the refrigerator because A, they don't taste worse when they're cold, and B, I know there's not going to be any weevils, roaches, anything of that nature on them. Same thing with my pasta. All my pasta is stored. You can buy a pasta holder, but fuck it. So I don't mind, but that is not why I dislike Devora. The reason I don't like Devora is because I have trypophobia, and I don't like it when skin or pores expand and release foreign materials. I don't like that at all. And as a matter of fact, the hardest part about MK11 Devora is her shoulders and the black openings on the shoulder flesh. I really don't like that. Which is God, this is why it's a sore point for me. It's like, oh, I want classic costumes, you know? It's like, oh, well, exposed thighs, maybe, offensive to some people. And yet, they have no problem triggering my trypophobia. And they have no problem reminding me every 10 seconds that I'm balding. They have no problem doing those things. Classic costumes had to go. But, yeah, just a lot of that body opening. I guess to illustrate it, if you want to know why I don't like MKX Devora, imagine you have an ingrown hair and it's expanded and swollen and pussing, and you try to pop it and a roach leg comes out. That's why I don't like Devora. That's an illustration of the stuff that bothers me. I still won't play the character. I'm not in love with the bug concept, but she probably has the best fatality in the game right now.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So for her fatality, oh man, I gotta remember. So
She like knocks you down and then pukes on you.
yeah, she pukes in your mouth with her bug stuff, and then you're on the ground like convulsing, and all of a sudden your torso separates from your legs, and then out of your
I wasn't clear on how that happens. Does he just like?
I think it's just what's happening to your body. Yeah.
Okay, that was just strange to me. It looked like a clean cut. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I think it's just kind of it's just whatever the bug inside you is causing to happen. But
yeah.
Anyway, so your torso separates from your legs as the giant like spider legs come bursting out of your chest, and then lifts the torso up, still with the head and the arms attached, and then all of a sudden the head like pops in half, and then cracks in half or whatever, and then
And there's like
busts
maggots
open.
and shit.
Yeah,
It's gross.
and then the head of the bug forms where your head used to be. That's creepy as shit.
Using the body as like its body.
It's like the
the
thing.
torso as its body. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly like John Carpenter's The Thing, like to a T.
Yeah, that's creepy.
It
was
doesn't bother.
badass.
Well, the worst part of that fatality, believe it or not, is when they're convulsing and Jack starts throwing up maggots right before the legs come out. That's the hardest part for me. But the rest of it, I think, is just kind of cool, to be honest with you. I don't know if anyone saw my Twitter post,
No.
but I did
I did
a
not.
quick video edit or a photo edit of that. I captioned it basically. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. I was worried because Derek was pumping up the fatality more than a month ago, saying like the divorce fatality is really sick, and I was picturing something awful. I was picturing her chest just opening up. There's like hundreds of little mouths, and they
She
start,
still
like,
has one
biting
more.
and screaming.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, no, it's true, but
Oh, I
she
just
has
saw
Kano's
it
head slam, headbutt fatality. It'd be great.
That's funny.
Or fucking dude, she has the same thing. Only literal John Carpenter comes out of the chest. Like that would be tough. I like it.
That'd be sick.
He has like his guitar and everything. Fucking yeah.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
thought the
surprised you like
fatality
it.
was cool.
Yeah, I
That makes
thought it was
sense.
cool. I love John Carpenter's The Thing. It's just body
makes
openings
sense.
and expanding pores is what I don't like.
It is a cool fatal. I was impressed. Like, I figured this was the one they were hyping up because of how like crazy it is. It's very
Which one?
elaborate.
Well, Derek
Where do
said.
you rank it? Yeah.
Well, I was
yeah.
just gonna say, Derek did say he didn't know which one they were showing, but he likes both of them a lot. So
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
they're
they
both
hyped
probably going to be disturbing. It's just the other one might be more like what Temp was afraid of.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the other one is.
Where do you rank this one down for? Because I think this is pretty cleanly the best right now.
Cabal's is still probably my favorite. Let me think. Someone else had a really good one. Noobs is up there for me. His is like second.
I like News because of the whole da-da at the end of it. It's kind of tight. But
Yeah. And then Johnny's third. This is up there. This is probably top 5.
Johnny's, I feel like, is going to get exhausting after a while. I feel like I've already seen that fatality a little too many times because I showed it to all my friends, obviously, IRL. But my only problem with Cabals is that I don't like I don't like post-mortem and A fatality, which is why I hate Kung Lao's fatality right now.
Yeah, that's
I feel
awful.
like, yeah, I feel like he's been doing that shit.
Oh, Lou
forever.
too. His fatality's awesome as well.
His fatality is real. Yeah, he's like number 3 for me. Actually maybe number 4. But I wish Cabals, instead of just cutting you in half, he just drags you until your body basically turns into slime. And then when he finally stops, he goes straight into his win pose, but like a leg is hanging from the sword. Like that would be
cool. I would like if he just ran away. Like if he just dropped you and then like ran away.
Oh, he says like Cabal wins, but he's just running in circles. Like that'd be fun.
That'd be awesome. Oh my god.
Can't do that anymore because of the slow-mo, so yeah.
I think my top 5 right now are in no particular order, just because I don't want to think too hard about the ranking. But Devorah's is definitely in there. Johnny's I'd still put there somewhere in the top 5. Cassie's, both of them. I think she has 2 of the best in the game. The shoot 'em up and then kick 'em in the nuts, and their fucking spine and head pop out. Just fucking tight. It makes me laugh. And then the heart one's pretty cool.
I like the heart one.
And then number 5. Man, I feel like I'm missing one that was really cool
there's
recently.
There's a lot to remember.
I feel like Sub-Zero's are underloved. I think both of his are very strong.
I'm actually not that big of a fan of his.
I'm not either. I like the punch through the head, but the spine one on the ice thing, I don't know. I'm not.
I agree, it's too much. That's kind of what brings it down for me a bit. But I like the opening so much. I think that I wish he did a clone his fatality for a while. So this is cool.
Oh yeah, it's a clone. I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
I'm looking through. Oh, I'd put the collector in the round that out. My top 5.
Really, I'm not wild about the collectors,
Dude, I love that he's just like digging through all your shit, and then like he digs through with his main hands, and then he's tossing whatever he like wants to keep up into his top hands, and he's putting them in the bag. I think that's just tight.
Yeah, and he keeps the head is kind of cool, but it's just all I can think of was Melina's fatality. That's all I can think of when I was watching.
I don't know.
I love he gets the best win pose in the game by far, though. I do give him that Oscar.
His win pose.
Oh
is
yeah,
awesome.
Cetrion's is pretty good. Like honestly, most of them in the game are pretty good. Like if I'm being honest, like Cetrion's is good. Noobs is good, definitely up there. That would probably be an honorable mention for top 5. It's like I said, if I spent the time to think about this, I'd probably have a better top 5. I'm just more thinking of the ones that instantly come to mind. Honestly, it'd be easier to make a list of the worst ones, and I think Kano's just head bash one is down there.
I think Raiden overall has the worst too.
Raiden's, yeah, is kind of meh.
These are so shitty.
Jax is one of the worst, I think.
He's like mid tier.
Puts the bomb on their back and then just punches through them. I don't know. It's just so bland
I like
to
the
me.
charge. It's not awful, but it's not like amazing. It's
I
just
have
kind
no
of
memory of Jax's fatality.
Damn. Oh, that's not a good sign. Oh, Garrus has a good one too. The skin rip, the peel.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Jack's is okay.
Like I said, it'd be easier to
I don't even
list the
remember.
ones that aren't very good. I think most of them are pretty strong, to be honest. Baraka's second one's not very good, where he just keeps chopping them up into... Like, he chops off the arms, then chops up the head half and stuff. I don't know.
That could have been good, but yeah, the ending sucked.
I think Jade's second fatality could be really good if it wasn't for the slow-mo at the end. I hate
head-
that.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it had something to do with a lightsaber, that's all I remember.
I'm not a fan of that one.
Jackie's was when she blows holes in you and she throws a energy
like that
shield
one,
into
yeah.
the final hold, and it's
That's
very
right.
13 Ghosts.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's pretty good. That one's like a middle of the road for me.
The only thing I don't like about that is that like she just caves in the head first and then throws.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah, I agree. No, I that's what brings it down for me as well. That's why I like Sub-Zero so much. It's just an execution. Freezes you, cuts your head off.
And then just punches it. It's swag. Yeah,
Yeah, that one's alright.
Yeah.
That one's not terrible. Kotal's is
Scorpions
alright.
also.
Yeah,
pretty
Scorpions
good.
is pretty good. The
split in half.
Yeah, the split in half one's good. Kotal's is good. I like that he just like throws you against the altar or whatever, and then just kicks your
His
fucking
is savage.
yeah, kicks your head off and then smashes it.
My favorite thing about that one is he just runs up like at you, like fucking just run at you, like it's so intense. It's real. It's tight.
And I like the pacing of Cetrions. I think is really cool. Like the effects of it look really good.
Which one?
She like does the water in your face that like
That one
fucks your face up, and then she burns your legs off, like incinerates them off, and they're kind of like cauterized. And then you're just on the ground like a torso, kind of like trying to pull yourself back. And she does like the 3 Freddy claws almost out of rock, and then they slowly come at him and then just speed up and slice them in 3. I thought that looked really cool.
And her first fatality, I think it's like that's the theme of a lot of fatalities in this game. They're so good until the very end. I feel like they go too far. What they should have done is instead of like the Earth Blast only blowing up like just Jade, I wish like it literally just blew up the continent and she does her wind pose and like the fallout. I would have liked that so much.
Oh, that would have been.
As long as she said this is mercy.
I actually do prefer her first one, the Jax giant one. Because I just didn't expect that at all. So to see her go into Jack's size and then bigger, like, that was awesome to me.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It'd be better if Jax did it, but yes, I do agree with
Yeah, I want Jax.
I'm wondering if she's gonna have like there's more to her than we're aware of. Maybe she does have like some evil thing about her, or a different timeline version where she's evil.
Yeah, they did show that skin today.
They have that skin, and that second fatality I feel like would be more like, I don't know, that's very savage of she just does everything to hurt you, and I don't know, like the ending of it's very evil, like with the claws chasing you down, fucking.
Oh, that one, yeah,
that just strikes me as something more like evil version of her would do.
That's almost like something like Shinnok would do, like bring out like a skeleton hand to smash you,
yeah,
or something like that. Because it did look like it was from hell, like it was literally like molten.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, but I mean, that wraps up Devore and all of that. So we have a couple questions here to answer and go through. The first one was, I thought this was relevant to what we've been talking about. I pulled it from the Nethercast questions earlier because I thought it was really good. And it was, if you could choose 3 characters to take up to 3 characters, you don't have to do all 3, but up to 3 characters to get rid of on the roster and replace with 3 other characters, what would you choose? Down 4, you can go first.
Okay, I'm sorry, but can you repeat that?
3 characters, so you can have up to 3 characters to remove from the roster and replace with different characters. Who would they be? They don't have to be all 3, just up to 3.
Okay. Do you have a select screen picture?
I do. Sure. Give me 1 second.
Uploaded already.
You did already?
Yep.
Where to?
Chat.
There you go.
Okay. Let's see.
He's on it. I was staring at it, but yeah.
I want to take another one because I want to get rid of the fucking Twitch is now full screen shit.
Here,
yeah.
I have one with the play symbol, so that's about the best I can do.
And then Frost and Shao-Kahn at the top.
Assumedly, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'd replace Kano with Fujin. Who else? Fuck. I'd replace Garrus with Rain. And I'd replace... Let's think. I'd replace... Fuck. I'm trying to think. Who would be the best choice to get rid of?
I don't know. That's what we're asking. There you go.
And I'd replace Cassie with Boracho.
So who were the 3? And what were the 3?
Replace Kano with Fujin.
Okay.
Replace Garrus with Rain.
All right.
And replace Cassie with Boracho.
Cassie with Boracho. Okay. Rain, Fujin, Boracho, Cassie, Fujin. I mean, Cassie, Kano, and Garrus. Gotcha. Temp?
No, I'm still looking.
Okay. I will go with... yeah, I'm going to say Kano, get rid of, in favor for Cyrax, get rid of... I'm going to say get rid of Sonya in favor of Smoke, and It's a tough one. Let me think here. I'll say Garrus as well. Sure. Get rid of Garrus in favor of Fujin.
Those are all good choices.
Cyrax, Smoke, Fujin are the three that I would add.
Who's the first you'd replace?
Kano.
Okay.
So Kano, Sonya, and Garrus.
Actually, instead of Garrus, I'd replace Devora.
Fuck you.
Now that I think about it. I think.
I mean, it feels almost unfair to replace a new character, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put any new characters.
Like I'll replace. I mean, I'll keep Garrus in there because, like I said, that's almost cheating to a degree.
And yeah, I do like the look of his gameplay.
Yeah, I don't hate Garrus either. He was the most expendable out of all of them. But so I'll do Kano, Sonya, and then the third one I would replace is. Man, that's tough. Let me think. Oh man. I'll say Kung Lao.
I was thinking Kung Lao too.
Because, like Jackie or Jax, I feel like would be like one of the other, I feel like almost is too obvious, but I think they both look so damn good that one, Jax just looks phenomenal, and Jackie, I think, could really benefit from the new appearance and the new gameplay and all that. So I want to give her that chance. So I don't want to rip that away from her. So I'm gonna go, like I said, Kung Lao. I feel like he's been in a lot, so I feel like he's a little bit more expendable at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I agree.
Those are the three I'll go: Kano, Sonya, Kung Lao, and Smoke, Cyrax, Fujin. Temp, you got yours?
I do. I'm going to replace Sonya with Smoke, Nightwolf with Jackie, and Devora with Li Mei.
There you go.
Hey, who's your second one?
I'm going to replace
Jackie with Nightwolf.
Okay, that's a good pick.
Yeah, Nightwolf's good too. I think if I could go one more, I'd probably throw him in there.
Man, I can't even think about taking Kung Lao out of this game right now because I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to do if he's gone. I have no.
Well, I mean, theoretically, you're replacing him with somebody you like more. So.
Yeah, but yeah.
I feel like that logic checks out.
It's not like a rational thing. It's just like my spine gets a little colder when I think Kung Lao's not in the game. Like what? That's all like no. So yeah.
I feel like if those three were in though, you wouldn't even think about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is at that point he would be.
Fair, I think he looks better than a lot of the other characters in the game right now. So
he looks good.
Yeah, he looked pretty cool. And a lot of, like I said, I have a bottom 5, and even most of those bottom 5 I still think look passable. Like still have some interesting qualities to them. Okay, so then next question. I don't remember who asked that. It was, like I said, in the other chat, and I think they deleted it before I looked at who said it. I just, in my brain, I remembered. Question. Yeah, it was a good question. That's why I wanted to answer it on here. So now going to the random select questions. I think we had a couple before we did before I put out a thing. So Blight Phoenix asked, do you guys think Cetrion's reception was damaged by the bad news about the variation system? No.
Yes, I think it was.
How come?
Well, for one reason, on the day Cetrion was revealed, I didn't say a word about her on the entire Discord. All I was talking about was variation.
That's true.
She was such an afterthought to me.
I just feel like most people's issues with her aren't relative to the variation system. So maybe, I guess in the moments, maybe, but...
Yeah, I do think in the moment it's like everything added up. Like for me, it was like the tag not being in actual mode, and then Cetrion, and then like the variation thing. So it was all kind of like disappointment. But I still like parts of Cetrion. It's not like all or nothing. But I do feel like some people may have a more negative reception because of all of that at the same time.
I didn't really have any reaction to Cetrion at all. Like after I saw the trailer, she was kind of, I don't dislike the character. I just I don't know why. I had a very non-reaction to her. To this day, I'm still I don't really have a lot to say or think about Cetrion. It's not a bad thing. It's just I'm like, she looks interesting. I'm probably not going to play her, and I never looked back. The collector is a different story. I like the collector a lot.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I had a similar reaction to her. I like her design. Gameplay, I'm not as sold on. So really, it's just going to come down to what does she do in story mode, personality-wise, that is going to make or break the character for me, like in terms of how interested I am in her. So she's kind of, the jury's out still on her for me.
That was collector for me. Like I think he looks interesting, but I don't want to play him. That's like
Lin Pose did a lot for me. I also really like the design a lot.
I know you two were like you wanted to see what collector was about back when the roster got leaked. So
select screen, yeah. Temp and I were both pretty.
Tim, do you think you're gonna play collector?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm gonna try collector. This game, I have a very different strategy for this game than any previous fighting game. My goal is to pick my 2 favorite characters, and then learn the top tiers so I can play locally. Not use the top tiers, but just understand the matchups and learn how to counter the broken. That's my strategy for this game. So it really just depends on how fun he is. But I'll try him for sure, no doubt.
Who are your first 2 to try?
Kung Lao's number 1. Probably Noob Saibot for the second.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
I mean, now granted, they could give Jade like a mid-screen launcher, and I'll try Jade again, but we'll see.
They did though. It's 4-2-1.
Keela Clutch. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. So you guys talked about the breakaway mechanic and the meter system that is different and interesting. What would you bring back or choose differently in MK11 to really make the game well balanced?
In addition to the breaker mechanic?
Yeah, just what would you bring back or choose differently in MK11 to make the game well balanced? Meters is different. I don't know. I don't know
One
what
thing
the question's asking exactly.
Well, one thing I'd like to see in the game is like stage transitions, but not like Injustice, but like the MK3 ones. But like I'd make it more like Tekken, where you like knock them through a floor and then you get like a juggle. Like I think that'd be fun to me, and I'd like some shit like that. So that's what I would bring back. I don't know if it'd make it better balanced, but I would just like kind of a mechanic like that.
Yeah. I think if someone counterpicks the stage, that could be very useful.
Yeah, it would add more like utility to stage picking, kind of like Tekken, with like infinite stages and walled stages and shit. Not every stage would need a transition, but...
Well, let's say Cetrion's doing a runaway game, and it's like, fuck, I can't catch this bitch. You do an uppercut and knock her onto the rooftop, which is, let's say, I know historically the rooftop's been a bigger stage. Or let's say you knock her down a floor, you knock her into the soul chamber, and she can't run anymore. The stage is smaller. That could be...
I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah, that'd be awesome. If it's like different size stages, that'd be sick.
Yeah, we still don't know what was up with that time rift in that stage.
Yeah, they cut away on purpose. Like, they cut away as soon as it was about to change. I think it's just going to change, like, the aesthetic and change, like...
Oh, shit! I have not brought this up on the Warrior Shrine yet. One thing that's driving me nuts about fucking Goro's lair is when you get to the corner and there's no wall. You're just, like, literally just nothingness. You're backed up against nothingness. And you're being juggled against nothingness. Driving me nuts right now. But anyway...
I noticed that today when they were playing on Goro's lair, that it was super hard to tell where the corner was.
That's a big problem. God, that is such a big problem. But yes.
I was confused. I was like, where is the corner? Because he keeps going, and then he just stops. And I'm like, whoa, there's nothing there. Yeah, that was confusing for me as well.
They can't put like a couch there so I know where it stops? I don't
couch fucking Goro's.
Goro's couch. Downloadable stages. Anyway.
Just put a reptile there or something. Just like put something there.
He's not even like dead. It's just he's just standing there.
Yeah, he's like a guard. He's just like, what's up?
Not even a guard, like reading a paper. He's sitting on Goro's couch. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So moving on here. Now we have today's questions. So, blah, blah, blah. Card to the low.
We're going to change one thing about the... I was going to mention something.
Go ahead.
I'd had a proper counter hit system. Maybe not make every counter hit a crushing blow, but like give you like different opportunities on certain counter hits, which is kind of what crushing blows are, but I think it should be universal. I don't think it should be You use your one counter hit, now you don't get the opportunity again. Just make universal Tekken counter hits in this game. Sometimes you get a combo, sometimes you don't. And the crushing blow is what gives you the damage boost. That's where I would make them distinct. And the damage boost is significant enough where it doesn't have to happen more than once. You get that massive 40%. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, cool. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Cart to the Low asks, Temp, are you all at all concerned with the amount of zoning characters and lack of rushdown characters in MK11? Because it feels like half the cast can zone me out from full screen.
It depends on what they do with the dash. Right now, if the dash was as it is in the beta, I do feel like it's a problem because if I walk someone into the corner, if I play footsies, I trigger this really not fun guessing game. Or do I play footsies or do I bait out the full screen combo starter? And that's not super fun to me. But if I can bridge the gap before they get into the corner, and I don't have to worry about them teleporting out of the corner immediately afterwards, yeah, I think that could do wonders. There's still a lot of little mini guessing games in this game I don't like. I don't like the anti-air guessing game. Are they going to throw a projectile in the air, or are they going to go for a jump in normal? I don't like that at all. But it just depends on the movement. We'll see. I'm fairly optimistic right now because I liked what I saw with Sub-Zero, but I'm not playing Sub-Zero, so we got to see what they do with my characters. So, I'm
don't
not
know that
worried.
you're playing Sub-Zero, but you
Oh
will.
God, I hope not. Man, something horribly wrong with playing Sub-Zero.
You're not gonna try him?
I'll try, but yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I played a lot of Sub-Zero and MKX. I don't even think he looks bad in this game, but I played a lot of Sub-Zero and MKX. I am ready to do something different.
That's how I felt about Kitana, but I don't know, man. I don't have much of an option.
Well, I'm kind of hoping you don't pick up Kitana because I kind of want to try her this time. I kind of want to see.
Excuse me?
I want to kind of reverse that matchup. Maybe you can pick up Sub-Zero this time.
A game where Frost is finally in and I play Sub-Zero. What the fuck world are we in?
That'd be awesome, honestly. Well, Sour, did Kitana like today reignite any of that?
This is what I said in the chat is I felt like I was a butterfly hatching.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it just felt warm and cuddly, I guess. It's just like I felt lifted, like my spirits were lifted. I was like, hey, there's this character that's all, it felt like seeing an old friend in a new way, so to speak. And so there is that, and I definitely do have desire to play her. I'm still holding out hope that Frost is going to be there for me because like Temp said, I really don't want to do the same thing that I've just been doing for the last 4 years. I played Kitana a ton. So it'd be nice to do something different. I have a lot of interest in the Collector. I still am holding out Frost will be my actual main, but we'll see. All else fails and shit hits the fan. I feel like I have a nice Kitana to fall down on. That's kind of where I'm at. And I still will probably learn her regardless. I just don't know if I'll main her. It's really just going to shake down to how much am I enjoying Frost, how much am I enjoying the Collector, and if neither of them are really doing it for me, I have Kitana.
I still want to see, you guys try other characters too. Like, I want to see what you can do with Johnny Cage.
Yeah, and we'll do the dice game to figure out
what
characters we got to learn. So it sounded like we have us three, plus we have Poots, we have Randy. Some other people were wanting to jump in on that and said it sounded like a lot of fun. So maybe we'll find a special recording time to get all of us in a recording together and do just that. So that'd be kind of cool.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm thinking we'll do that next week sometime just to kind of let the last little week go by in case we learn out anybody else on the roster that we weren't expecting, so that way we don't leave anybody out just in case.
Yeah, I do want to see Shao Kahn. Well, I don't know. I want to see Shao Kahn.
I mean, Shao Kahn's not going to affect that for you at all. You still have desire to play him regardless. And it's the dice that determine it plus the other people's votes anyway, so it's not like you have much of a choice.
Yeah, that's true.
Proud Disciple. What will the Nethercast crew do upon release? Knockout story, hit the lab, crypt, play online. Me personally, it just depends. If the game leaks and the story, all the cutscenes are edited together like we got with Injustice 2 that weekend before. Honestly, I want to watch it with Down 4 and Temp more than anything. I hope if that does happen, we need to go into a pact where none of us watch it before each other and just do it all together that night at our earliest convenience where we're all available. Because that was
need to rip it before it gets taken down too.
Yeah, so maybe download it if it goes up on YouTube or wherever. I'm sure there's an easy way to save it. So want to do that. So that's the main thing that just in my mind, if that does leak out and that does happen, that's my first thing that I want to do that weekend before is just watch it all in cutscene form, because that was such an enjoyable experience with Injustice 2. I think I'd enjoy it more watching it with you guys than I would just playing through it by myself. So there's that. Now, if that doesn't happen, then I think first night, it just depends. Is Frost an unlockable character that I have to beat story? Then I'm going to be playing story and getting Frost as fast as I can. That's pretty much that. But what I'm most excited for is just playing sets online. So I think that first night, that's what I really want to do. Probably lab for half an hour to an hour just to kind of try and feel some things out with the character, learn a couple combos and whatnot. But then I just want to get into a match online or even training mode online and play together. What about you guys?
I think
you can go ahead. Oh, well, I'll go ahead then. For me, the first thing I want to do is play at least one set. But then after that, I really want to just go into the lab and try a few characters. I'm going to try Raiden, Jax, Kotal, Aaron. I want to see what they're about at first. And Shao Kahn if he's cool. I already feel like I got my Cabal fix, so I probably won't mess around with him at first. I want to try some of the other characters to get a fresh feel. And then if I'm going to try and grind for the Cabal skin I want, if he has a good skin, that's what I'm going to go for after that. But I do want to get a lot of sets in that first night. That's what I'm looking forward to most, is just playing with you guys and seeing what everyone's doing at the day one. That's going to be so sick, is just the Discord environment. This is the first time we've ever done a launch game with this Discord. So it's going to be cool to see what everyone's thinking at first, and it's gonna be just hectic, and
there's gonna be so many sets going on. I'd like to get into a small King of the Hill. I know we said 8 people, that kind of shit can wait for at least a couple of weeks. But smaller King of the Hills is just the 3 of us or Yumi and Poot or whatever. After we've gotten some sets in, I would like to mess around with that just to see what other people are doing. 3 or 4 people tops, where you're not waiting for too long. Just because I'm still I like that. I like that environment where you're kind of seeing what other people are doing, and that hype factor when you see people pulling off brutalities against each other. And there's just some good fun in that group setting, as long as it's kept to a cap, a small cap. So I wouldn't be against that, late at night, around after we've gotten a few hours in of sets and stuff, just to dick around with other people. But that's kind of where I'm thinking for at least opening night is, like I said, hopefully story mode leaks before then, just to get that out of the way. Right away, I want to be doing sets. I want to be earning coins, which seemingly you can earn coins while playing online, at least if the beta is anything to go by. So being able to grind out sets and then get shit, actually be able to purchase, cool shit for your character would be tight. And then just sets, and then maybe towards the end of the night when everybody's kind of winding down, doing just a small King of the Hill with some of us. So that's kind of where I'm at. And probably rinse and repeat throughout all the nights, honestly, of that entire week of run a lot of sets, pretty much all day and night, and then set aside an hour for small King of the Hill when you want to just dick around and have more of a party environment.
And you can swap around players too, play King of the Hill with a certain 3 people for a half hour, then switch.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we have a Discord with so many people. If you're into that King of the Hill thing, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be able to find something. There's going to be sets, there's going to be small King of the Hills, there might be big King of the Hills. Just depends what people are into. The smaller King of the Hill and the sets are going to be more my focus, just so we get more time with the game. The 8-person King of the Hills, it just takes forever to
I'm not doing more than 3.
No, I don't want to do that either. I would cap out personally at 4, but that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I mean, that's all when we get together and do shit. That's kind of the fun of it, is just hanging out and doing cool shit with each other. So But yeah, the 8-person King of the Hills, it's just too hard to learn matchups. And if you lose, then it's just salt-inducing because then you're like, you have to wait forever to maybe even face somebody else. Like it's just weird.
And
So,
no one wants that frustrating experience with a new game. I don't want anyone to feel that way. I don't want to feel that way. So,
and it's not a way to
just,
learn. It's just not a conducive way to learn. So sets and like I said, 2 or 3 people on a King of the Hill is not too bad. But yeah, Temp, how about you? What are you planning on?
I'm mostly just trying to find a character. I'm going to find like 3 or 4 characters that I'm interested in. And I'm going to go do the rundown. I'm going to find out what the frame date is, and they're down 1 and they're down 4. I'm going to learn a bread and butter with them, see how that feels, what the damage looks like. And then I'm going to, once I find that character, of the 2 or 3 I'm trying, then it's just going to be like an hour of flawless blocking and just seeing how I can get that down, especially for jumping kicks. So I feel like that's going to be a problem early on. And then, yeah, play some sets.
Cool. All right. Thanks for the question, dude. Aim dopeness. My question is, with John Vogel saying the team is open to adding more special moves as DLC, if there is a demand for it, what move would you like to see added, and what character is getting this added move? Man, it's kind of a loaded question. Frost. That's the problem, is we haven't seen all the moves from most of these characters, so it's kind of hard to say for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have anything off the top of your head?
I would give Cabal his gas blast back, his actual gas blast, or Raiden's shocker.
Temp?
Yeah, I would give Sub-Zero his forward 1-2-2 back.
Okay.
And that way, that's his. It's a pressure tool if you do forward 1-2. It's a launcher if you confirm into forward, if you go confirm to the second 2. So if I see you're blocking on forward 1-2, I just go for pressure. If I see you're not blocking and forward 1-2 hits, I do the final 2 go into my bread and butter combo. And that was one of my favorite things to do in MKX. So it's a very easy choice for me. Give Jaden his screen launcher.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head until we get to see all the moves. I'm not really sure. I guess just from observation, I'd like to see Kitana get her lunging swipe back from MKX, I guess. I didn't see that on her, and that was one of my favorite moves.
I think that like throat slit is going to be the replacement for that, probably.
Man, that move is so cool.
I don't know though, but that's what it reminded me of.
But yeah, like her lunging onto the person, slicing them, and then kicking away. I thought that was cool, and it made a cool brutality. So I'd like to see that, or assassin run back. But all right. DAV God asks, my question is this a video recording or an audio recording? I've just noticed the random select plays. Is this where it is going? I'm confused and lost. So many variants, so interconnected stuff going on with Nethercast, Warrior Shrine, Lost, Random Select. Please distinguish for me. Okay, so Nethercast is the main show. That's currently featuring Shad, Razor, Django, and if they want to get a guest on, there's that. And that's just kind of talks about the news and everything revealed over the week. The Warrior Shrine is with Temp and Django, and that is more competitive focused. It's more on like the tourney scene and just dissecting the gameplay and giving overall gameplay thoughts and that kind of stuff, and experiences with them playing online, as well as other fighting games, so they don't cover just Mortal Kombat. Lost is lore based with Shad and Razor. They go and they do character retrospectives, one character at a time. They're going from MK1 all the way through current. I think they just started MK2, or they are about to start MK2 with Noob or Bihan or whatever. So there's that. They do character retrospectives in parts. So if you're wanting like a full character's history and analysis, that's what that's for. Random Select is for Down Forality and that's just pretty much whatever we want to talk about in regards to Mortal Kombat 11. We started off doing like character breakdowns, basically going over every detail of the character, but now we've moved it more to just generic thoughts, kind of like the Nethercast. We cover whatever the hell we want, and we also do random select plays, which is just essentially us playing games together. So either old Mortal Kombat games or MK9, or maybe we'll have like specific challenges. Like currently we're working through the Mortal Kombat 9 challenge tower, the entire thing. So that's a lot of what we're doing there. So more of that stuff to come and it's a newer show, so we haven't quite fit it into a specific niche, I guess. But so that's kind of why we're just doing everything with it that we choose or what we feel like. And then the ones that are live are the Warrior Shrine and the Nethercast, and currently the non-live ones are the Lost and the Random Select. We may do streams every once in a while. We haven't really decided that far. But yeah, in the live recordings, that's why you'll see the Nethercast going on. I think those are generally Thursday nights around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's been on Friday the last couple times just based on the Combat Cast being on Friday, so they wanted to wait to go over the information on Friday. But generally, it's Thursday nights every week. The Warrior Shrine's more of a late night affair. It's also recorded live, and that's more sporadic. Same with the Random Selects. We just kind of record as we can, generally after big news comes out that we'll cover. Hopefully that covers it. Yeah, you may have to re-listen to what I just said to catch it all. But yeah, it's there. It's all there. And yeah, you can leave questions in all the various topics. Jen/Dead asks, besides Frost, what 3D era character would fit best in Mortal Kombat 11? See, fit best is that different than what we just think would generally be great? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult.
I would still just say Fujin. I mean, I feel like we're all wanting Fujin if we count him as a 3D era character.
Yeah, if we count Fujin. If we don't, I think Havoc would be amazing in this game.
I really like Ashra. Temp. Lee May. There you go.
Yeah, Lee May's my favorite. Like,
Sure.
if like I had to give blood to like get a character in the game, probably Lee May, almost for sure. But who would fit the best? I'm gonna say Natara, believe it or not. I think she'd be really interesting. Fujin should be in this game, but like that's not really the question. I would say for gameplay potential, I would say Natara.
Interesting.
That's strange.
Strange and peculiar. All right.
Well, part of it's the flight. The flight is a big aspect, but just ranged normals and just okay. So how are we picking a good MK11 character, right?
I don't know.
Like to me, it's mids. Who has good mids and who can do something the other cast members can't? And I feel like Natara could do both of those things beautifully. So that's kind of how I decided.
That's fair.
All right, Broman asks, you think that it is possible that Devora is far older than she appears if you consider how in StarCraft series the Zerg have long-lived creatures? As far as we know about Devora, is she apparently worked for Shao Kahn. She's now credited for killing King Jared, Kitana's father. So clearly she's been around for a while. Did anybody know when Jared died?
A long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
He took over. Shao Kahn took over Adenia, right? So it's like fucking long ass time ago.
So,
which I don't like that intro. It's kind of whack.
What? Why?
It's like, well, Shao Kahn killed Jared. I don't like that. It's like they're retconning Devora to have killed him. I just don't like that.
It's sort of a Phantom Menace problem. It's like, okay, well, indirectly he did it, but yeah. Yoda kind of trained Anakin. It's kind of one of those problems, right? So.
Yeah, it's just like it's shoehorning in a character that wasn't there to have done something big. I don't know. I just don't like it.
All right.
It goes back to what you were saying earlier, Cyborg, about them trying to sell me characters, them trying to engineer me to like characters more. It's like they thought we would like Devora more if she killed Jared, and I don't feel that way.
I don't know. I don't see it that way personally. I don't see it as them selling her as much as they are to establish more history for the character. They're clearly wanting to root these. I mean, they're doing the same with Kotal Khan, and they're probably doing the same with Aaron Black. We just don't know entirely what all he's done. They've done the same with the Collector they're making all of these characters as if they existed the entire time. We just haven't seen them yet, but they were there. They were interacting with the characters in some fashion or another, but we just didn't know about what they were doing.
I like it ish with Collector. I'm kind of torn on the Collector being evil, but I do think they did something really interesting with him. The Kotal stuff is actually fairly nice. I think they did a good job of explaining him out of the original trilogy.
The flesh pit stuff?
No, well, I mean him being locked up. I don't particularly love the idea that he was in the flesh pits, but the idea that he was imprisoned, I thought was kind of cool.
Like, I do kind of like that, like Shao Kahn imprisoned him because he's a threat, but I don't like where the experimental aspects come in. Is that like actually like
I'm not there.
The cat? Man, could be. I just see that as like
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'll tell you what it didn't do. They didn't give him green skin. That wasn't part of the experiment.
That's true. Oh, and Aaron Black shit is terrible, I think. So far, at least in this game, like what he had Yeah, him being a black dragon and apparently he's not old anymore. Like I don't know if that we don't know that.
Yeah, we
yet,
don't know that for sure.
I didn't know he was. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Well, in X, he's supposed to have worked for Shang Tsung briefly, and that's how he's like got this long age. Like he did a kill for him, and then Shang bestowed him like with like longer age, basically.
How do we know that? Where was that?
That was in his ending.
Oh,
so it could be non-canon though.
It's just I think that's such a more interesting setup, like to make him like an actual cowboy from the Old West who like, and it kind of gives like something to do with Shang too. Like that's why I thought he would be in this game.
Turning him into Cobra. Like why did they think that was a better idea?
Yeah, so, like working for the Black Dragon, and yeah, I don't like it.
Because he has a bloodthirst? Oh, it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, not a fan.
These could be different timeline versions of the character too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, yeah.
We don't really know what the hell's going on with all the fuckery. Especially, I mean, if Sean Kittleson, I mean, they say a lot of things, but if he's dead set on the comic being canon and you're going to find out when you play the game that the game just further beats that home, then it's like that wouldn't make any sense to just instantly retcon the things that the dude already wrote. So
I
don't know. Maybe we're dealing with different versions of the character than we think we are. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Soon enough, we shall see. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, the divorce stuff doesn't really bother me. But as far as her being older than she appears, possibly. We don't really know. I don't know what the hell it is. I do like that little bug that fucking comes out of her when she dies. That's kind of cool. I thought that was a cool mechanic to add.
I like that as Alien's front flip. I thought that was kind of funny.
It did. It had its back three or whatever. Or it's a flip.
Interesting concept. Just flying around.
I wonder what more it can do.
Dude, I want to gear that up so bad because I think there's so much potential to make that just ridiculous. Like, I want to have, like, boxing gloves and shit. I think that's really cool. That's me. Yeah. I'm weird. I get it.
Her corpse just laying there after is kind of disturbing, too. How it just pops out and then it's just lifeless, like corpse. Yeah. Off to the side.
But I think that's it for questions. So we're getting close. Like I said, we are getting to single digits, and we only have really 1 week left to get through, pretty much. So kind of crazy how close we are, and it's going to be exciting and a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun that week playing through the game, and like I said, maybe even doing, as far as story mode, if it does leak out and we do have a video form that we can just sit there and watch, maybe maybe we can record that or something, so that way once the game is already out and we're not like breaking anything or leaking anything ourselves, we can put that up of our essentially reacting to the entire story mode. I don't know. We'll figure something out because I know people want to see our thoughts in real time.
That's a good idea, actually. I would like to go back on that too and see what we thought and whatnot.
Yeah, and we're not really the lore guys as much, so we're probably going to be more forgiving and less nitpicky about some of the finer details, but we'll have our own unique spin, so maybe the other guys will do their own recording of from more of a lore perspective. But yeah, I'm excited just to see the characters interact with each other and see what cameos make it, because you never know if a cameo might up somebody's chances or if you see your favorite character or not. Guess we'll see. But we're getting so close, and I still feel like there's just so much about this game we do not know, which is kind of crazy that we're this close. It's bitter and it's sweet that we have that, because obviously there's still certain answers we wish we had, and but we're so close now that it's going to be kind of fun finding some of these things out for ourselves, at least some of the gear wise and the skin wise, and just seeing the crypt and story mode and online and all the customization that comes with it and all that shit. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff to still see, I feel like. So
and probably secrets too.
Yeah, secrets that they have managed to keep secret that weren't leaked out. We don't know. That's why I said anything's still possible. Nothing's off the table yet. Nothing's technically deconfirmed 100%. Things seem a little less likely from those leaks, but that doesn't mean that everything that was on those leaks was necessarily everything to begin with. There's still probably some things that didn't even leak out. So on that note, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, Temp, and see you guys later.
Peace.
Take care, everybody.